be on spring break tomorrow? That's pretty sweet. Lucky you. I didn't know that. I was jamming out so hard that I totally forgot to set up the intro song.
Don't cry, she'll be back tomorrow. Take back all the time you borrowed. I'm no longer afraid to tell you that I need you, and I wish that you would come back for more.
Promote that right.
So now.
I like that. Like just yelling hello. I just love it. Just like I'm losing my voice though. I'm just letting y'all know right quick. Your boy's losing his voice. All right, it's happening. It's happening. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And I'm red. I let Miss Lately pick the color tonight, and she wanted red. I think. I'm not 100% sure if she chose it on purpose or not. Oh, I didn't even put the lights on. You did choose it on purpose?
Well, would you look at that? Someone's guilty of being a total badass.
Oh, snap.
Chick Dugs approves this message.
The Daniels Crew super chatted $5. Let's start with Big Let's Go.
Let's start with Big Let's Go. I like it. I like it. We're going to start with a big let's go. We have quite a show for you guys tonight. I'm a pick a fight tonight. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna pick a fight tonight, baby. Let's go. Thank you for the super chat, Daniel's crew. Much love to you. Much in love to you. In fact, so much love to you. Even though I know Daniel's crew is like the only person who doesn't really like when I do a big celebration when she donates. But guess what? Everybody gets some of that. Everybody gets some. Let's go. I want to try to fix this because I like being able to hear the Discord. But for some reason, I messed around with something. I messed around with something, and I don't know if it even works now. I just simply don't know. I don't know. Let me see if that works though. If I'm jumping right off starting. I know it's not the sexiest intro messing with your audio, but we need to have this taken care of, guys. This needs to be addressed because I need to hear the horns in my ears. You know what I'm saying? I need to hear the horns in my ears, you know? But something happened, like, weirdly that, yeah, see, for some reason the Discord just will not play through my soundboard. I don't know. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like it, guys. It's pretty evident that Discord does not like my soundboard. But I guess in order to be able to still give you guys that fun, entertaining experience that you've all come to know and love, we're going to have to just live with it, huh? We're just going to have to come live with it. How's everybody doing? What's today? Thursday? I didn't even know what day it was. I am so involved. There we go. At least you guys can hear it now, you know? Sometimes that's all that matters. I think you guys can hear it, right? I can't see it registering on the soundboard because it gets blocked by the Discord thing. Wait, hang on. I think that's not even a mic that I want to be using. I didn't see it go. Are you guys hearing that? I am not seeing anything. I need to see something. You know what? I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. You guys know me, right? I don't stop until I figure it out. All right, well, at least I know that you guys are getting it now. But I'm still disappointed that I'm not able to hear it through my audio. I really want to fix this. I should have fixed it before I got live, but you know what? You guys know how I get. You guys know how I get sometimes. I just straight up ADHDing over here. I just be ADHDing all day. Yeah, see, and now it just doesn't want to do anything. Why it be like that though? Why it gotta be like that though? You know what I'm saying? I had this all dialed in perfectly, and now it is not working. It is not working the way that I wanted it to. But you know what? Also, I noticed that some weird thing happened with my computer where it's not allowing me into like the sound inputs and stuff, which I found to be quite odd. Ray, you better not be messing with my shit. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about
Well, would you
that.
look at that? Someone's guilty of being a total badass.
I can hear that.
Chick Dugs approves this message.
Maria super chatted $2. Let's pick a fight, TG. We got your back.
We are picking a fight tonight. We are definitely picking a fight tonight, and it's going to upset some people. It's definitely going to upset some people, specifically one person.
Well, would you look at that? Someone's guilty of being a total badass. Chick Dugs approves this message.
The Daniels crew super chatted $10. I heard J Sauce said 10 more.
Hey, J Sauce, I like it. I always love seeing when J Sauce is in the when she's in the chat. We gotta get her on. We gotta get her on. We gotta get that sultry voice on here so that we can get some more men in here. You know what I'm saying? I love my ladies, but we gotta bring in the boys, right? So I'm just gonna exploit J Sauce's voice for that.
Someone's guilty of being a total badass.
Uh-oh.
Chick Dugs approves this
Uh-oh.
message.
Solent Luna super chatted $5. Fight, fight, fight.
Oh,
No one messes with Lately Nation.
You know. But we're not starting the fight yet. All right, I have to wait. We can't start right. You can't come out of the gate swinging, guys. You got to conserve the gas tank. Plus, I got to wait for a guest. But, yeah, man. Alls I know is sometimes people just need to be a little careful about who they be messing with. That's all. And I'm sure he's watching. I'm sure he's watching. He's watching right now, just waiting to see if I say some shit. You just wait, bro. You just wait, cause we gonna get to you. We gonna get to you. All right, let's show the channel real quick.
Easy lately, standing for what's right.
I'm down in the corner, looking at myself. I'm down in the corner, I'm looking at myself. I'm down in the corner, I'm looking at myself, looking at myself, looking at myself. That's a new song. That's a new song I'm writing. All right, let's do roll call as Miss Lately cradles the dog like a baby. I guess I don't need to be. I can be full screen sitting here. I could be full screen sitting right here doing roll call. We got Soul and Luna, who of course you all just heard right there, giving some love, sharing the wealth, if you will, with yours truly, and we are so grateful for that. We won't ask for donations. We just simply don't do it. But if you want to give one, we ain't gonna hate you for it. Carla, stop. What's up?
Someone's guilty of being
snap.
a total badass.
It's gonna be one of them
Chick
nights.
approves this message.
The Daniels Crew super chatted $5. Roll call.
Shaboozy, what's that thing? Shabooty. Shabooty roll call. I don't know if that's right or not. What's up, Gypsy Rose? I see Gypsy Rose in the chat. Always a fun night when Gypsy Rose is hanging out. It's always fun to see what topic we're going to cover that's going to make her run, though. So we try not to make Gypsy Rose run, but sometimes we do cover some stuff where she's like, okay, this is getting a little too crazy. This is getting a little too crazy for me, and I don't blame you, Gypsy Rose. We get wild up in here. We be wilding out sometimes, sometimes to our own detriment. I see Carla, stop holding things down over on Twitch for me. Always lone wolfing over there, and I love her for it. The only person who watches me on Twitch, Carla, stop. Thank you so much. Twitch is like, well, he's got one dedicated viewer, I guess. We can't ban him. What's up, Marie F? Good to see you. Good to see you. Who else we got in there? Jammer, thank you so much. Watching from my hospital room. Well, I hope you feel better, son. I don't know what's going on with you, but your prayers are with us. Wait, your prayers are with us, Jammer. We're keeping them for ourselves. You don't get. You gave us your prayers. We're not giving them back. All right. I can't believe I said that like that. I'm a little tired, in case you guys didn't notice, because I've been working relentlessly on this video that I'm putting out. I come home, I go right to the editing table, I sit there until I either got to stream or I'm ready to pass out. That's what I've been doing. I've been sleep deprived this week, but I promise you guys it'll be worth it. It's gonna probably be the best video I've ever done, without a doubt. Probably the best video I've ever done. Also one of the most important videos I've done, probably since the scammer payback stuff. So get excited for that. Who else we got here? Jammer, I saw you. J Sauce, the J Zizzle. Ahmed Musin, how you doing? I'm sorry if I don't look like Jacksepticeye tonight, but I will try my best to grow my beard back, sir. Mr. Hoot, what the? Where did you go? Where did you even go, bro? You don't even go here anymore. You changed schools, man. You changed schools on us, but we're happy you're back. We're happy you're back. See, that's how you know I got a cool community, when I can pick out when people haven't been around in a while, and I give them some love for coming back. The bluest of Jays. Period. That's all I got to say about that. Bluest of mother Jays. All right. Daniel's crew, of course. She's not late tonight, guys. She's not late. She's here on time tonight, guys. Hands together for Daniel's crew. Showing up on time. We love to see it. She is not tardy for the party. Sometimes she's typically tardy for the party, but she's here tonight. She's here tonight hanging out, and I love to see it. I love to see it. Maya Draco Levosky. I heard that. She said, I heard that. I heard that. That's right. I heard that too. I heard that too. Who else do we got here? New moon. The newest moon rising, never failing, never falling, never going down, only up. Up only, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of what I like my moons like I like my crypto. Up only, you know? Who else we got here? I'm looking at it through later with lately, so everything is through the Restream bot. What's up, Kurs Tiddly 68? Kriz 68. That's a hard name to pronounce. I think that you just put all these. I think you just did gibberish in your name, and that's where. That looks good to me. Sarah Nonan Little. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Sarah Nonan Little. Sarah always knowing what's up. She's always knowing what's up. Who else we got here? Did I miss anybody? There's a lot of names in here tonight. I love to see it, though. I love to see us continually growing, guys. Continually growing. But I have a surprise later tonight. I was asked if I was going to share it, and I was like, well, I kind of want to be sneak attack about it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be sneak attack. Because this is commentary, okay? This is drama commentary. We don't go around over here. What's up, Neil, a.k.a. Annihilator? How's it going? Who's getting annihilated in the video? MP? Yo. I will. Don't threaten me with a good time. You know what I'm saying? Don't threaten me with a good time. But nobody knows. Nobody knows right now who's getting annihilated. But someone's getting annihilated. Someone's getting annihilated tonight. Tina Cat 911 coming in, buzzer beater. Janie Minaj. Tina Cat 911. It's a 911 emergency that everybody knows how cool Tina Cat is. She the oldest member, the original OG member of the Lately Nation. You slap some respect on that name. You know what I'm saying? You slap some damn respect on that name when you talk about Tina Cat. I think I said Marie F, but just in case. Marie F! The F stands for not fucking around. I love coming up with nicknames for everybody. What's up, Fun Guy Media? I guess you guys, if Fun Guy's in the chat, you guys know it's going to be an interesting night. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it there. It's going to be an interesting night. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not sure what's going on in the world right now. I'm really not. I have no clue what is even happening in the world today. So I was just going to hop over on X real quick and just see if there's anything interesting over here worth talking about. Usually going and checking the trending videos or trending to see what is like trending. You know, I check the trending to see what's trending. I know it's a groundbreaking thing that I do, but nobody else does it. Nobody else. Your name on my screen is Old and Luna. Old and Luna. Fun Guy Media Scam Baits. By the way, check him out. Good channel. Good channel. Fun Guy, of course, comes from the amazing and late Pecan Head, who we miss dearly every day. It cracks his neck. I'm ready for a fight. Yeah, we're ready for a fight, but we're gonna have to stay. We have to wait. We have to wait for my corner man to get here. You know. What's up, Valerie? Valerie sounds promising. Oh, it's always promising. It's always promising. Can we call Fun Guy Fungi it? Yeah, you can call him whatever you want. Just don't call him after midnight. You know what I'm saying? All right, what is going on? So
I know that you've told me before.
So since while we're waiting, I guess I'll go over a couple random topics. But the new Snow White came out. That is not getting received very well. Let's just put it that way. It's not getting received very well. I think a lot of people have the biggest problem with the fact that the Mirror is suggesting that Rachel Zegler is somehow prettier than Gal Gadot, which we all know that Mirror's drunk. We all know it's drunk. But maybe we'll do a quick fun look at Snow White real quick while we're waiting for
the ableist in this.
We'll watch a quick fun response to Snow White while we're chilling and waiting for my guest tonight. Oh, someone's gonna be raging later. Someone's gonna be raging later. That's all I know. No, please, not about that movie. Oh my God, it's really bad. Have you seen it? It hasn't even come out yet. But are you taking a little lately anyway? Probably not. She wants to go see the Paddington Bear movie, so I might take her to that. But I don't think I'm gonna take her to Snow White. She doesn't seem like she wants to even see Snow White. because this movie's getting so tore apart online that I don't think that anybody wants to go and see it. I'm trying to fix this light. I'm a little too red. You know what I'm saying? I'm a bit too red. Too red for my own good, I think. Ooh, that's creepy. That's a creepy looking light like that, right? Ooh, it's a spooky season. I like messing around with the lighting sometimes to see if I can get something cool. That is kind of neat. It's a kind of a neat little light thing we got going on here. The red is very red, though. I will admit. The red is quite literally very red. But I think that's just a little too bright. You guys are watching in real time as I figure out my lighting for videos. I hope that you enjoy. All right, how's that? I think that's cool. I got a very, I like to have that ecliptic vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like that chill vibe. But yes, again, as I was saying, I want to pop out this chat, though, so I can actually look at it. I want to be able to look at the chat. Why did it go up there? I didn't want it to go there. Give me the chat back. Why would you do such a thing? Oh, this is the vertical. I didn't mean to pop this out. I didn't mean to pop that out. For some reason, the chat is being temperamental tonight, and I don't really like that. I don't like that too much. Uh-oh. I'm hearing noises. What do you guys think of the light? Keep it like this? Is it hurting anybody's eyes? What's up, Mr. J? Sorry, Mr. T. I called you. I listened back to the stream from the other day, and I realized that everybody was like flipping out saying, his name is Mr. T, and I just kept calling you Mr. J anyway, because I'd be stubborn like that sometimes. But it looks like a J because the period's right next to your name. That chat goes where, yeah, this chat is self-aware. And my computer's yelling at me about some type of USB device that's connected to my computer that just doesn't want to be working. But the camera hasn't shut off, so I don't know. I typically think that that's like the camera doing that, but it doesn't seem to be the camera. What are you yelling at me for? Yeah, turn off all notifications for that. I don't need that coming up left and right tonight.
This is an
crazy thing going on there. I just want to pull this up so I can look. Doesn't seem to be the. I want to pull out this chat. I want to pop this chat out. Pop it out. Behave yourself, chat. The lights are going to give me a seizure. Right now they are. Are they still gonna give you seizure, or are they getting better? Are they getting better, or are they getting worse? That's what everybody wants to know, right? That's the $1 million question. Is the lights getting any better, or are they getting any worse? They can't get any worse. I mean, we know that much. We know that much. I'm trying to look to see what it... Am I just more red now? I'm trying to take a little red out of my face. Okay, I think that works. But the side of my face isn't lit, though, now. I got to get, like, the full-on frontal. I got to get the full frontal face lit up. There we go. I'm just keeping it like that. I don't care what it looks like any longer. There we go. Now I can pop this chat out. Whew. I was getting nervous there for a second. I was like, I'm not going to be able to pop this chat out. But you got to pop the chat out, guys, because that's how I interact with y'all. Too much red? I agree. This is all Miss Lately's fault. And I'm being blinded by this light, and I'm being blinded by this light. But this light over here is just like, I think she did it to sabotage. Hang on, let me fix this real quick. I don't know where my phone is, because I can't adjust it from my phone. But the phone seems to be missed. All right, give me 1 second. There we go. Now we got no red. No red at all in this one. How's it going? How y'all doing? How you doing? It's like Wendy Williams. How you doing? Bro, you look like you spent 4 extra hours in a tanning booth. I did. You look good. Red is my favorite color. Red is my favorite color too, fun guy. What's up, Fabio Case? Hola, she says. I look a little more normal now. I think this is perfect, right? This is like the perfect look right here. I'll tell you what, though. When we start the fight, we'll switch back to red for blood. We'll switch back to red for blood. All right, let me switch over to get down in the corner. All right, we're down in the corner, guys. Out here in the streets. That's much better. Thank you. I live for Gypsy Rose's approval, guys. I don't know if you realize that, but as long as Gypsy's happy, I'm happy. And that's how I choose to live my life. It's my choice. And y'all are just going to have to live with it. That song was called I Live for Gypsy Rose's approval. I'm happy Fabiola's here. How you doing, girl? I'll tell you what, Fabiola was on fire last week or last stream. Just chucking it in there left and right like I was some kind of fountain. I like to see it. Love to see it. Can I fix this chat? I don't want it to be so wide. There we go. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. Oh, J-Cell says that's better too, and she was in Hollywood, so she knows. She knows for sure. I'm going into the stream channel to keep an eye on it, EG. You do that. You do that. Yeah, let me know when he gets in there. In the meantime, guys, Snow White just came out, and we're getting a brutally honest review of this. Now, I don't think that this is necessarily going to be spoilers. Let me check, though. I want to make sure there's no spoilers in here, because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I'll tell you what, if he starts going into the plot, we'll just skip it, but because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But I do want to get a review of this movie, because this movie has gotten people going nuts. Everybody's so angry about this dang movie. And I don't blame them, because we went over this the other day, right? Rachel Zegler was like insufferable. Insufferable. Carlos Hopp says, I heard EG is going to have a Snow White watch party in his Discord. Yeah, I don't want to get sued. Although I do have, there's supposed to be a Hercules watch party with J-Sauce eventually. We put that off for a while, but if J-Sauce is still up for that, I would love to do that. Where we sit down and watch her episodes of Hercules, and she can give us a little commentary behind the scenes. Hoot's review of the new Snow White, it sucks. Yeah, that's what seems to be the gist. All right, let's take a look at this while we wait for our buddy. Spoilers, please.
The Disney live-action Snow White is a soulless, boring, unfocused, nonsensical, indulgent, unenjoyable slog. Now, such a statement might make me look like a prejudiced hater, but truly, if this film was good, I would praise it. One of my favorite films ever made is the Disney live-action Cinderella, one of the most wholesome, uplifting, inspiring, and heartfelt films ever made. And which stands as the gold standard for live-action fairy tale films and contrasts so devastatingly to the live-action Snow White and exposes how hollow and pathetic it really is, by demonstrating just how much Disney has lost their way. The worst parts of—
To be fair, I feel like Disney is trying to do better. The new Daredevil show has looked really good. All right, the last episode where Frank Castle's talking to Matt Murdock is peak cinema. I feel like Disney's finding their way back, but there was no saving this movie. Not unless you fired Rachel Zegler. I think that's the only way people would go and see this movie. Like if Disney was smart, they would have fired Rachel Zegler, put someone else in there who people like, and then this movie would have probably made them a fortune. But Disney doesn't do shit like that. That they don't ever do anything like that. Like if I ran Disney, if I was the CEO, if I was Bob Iger, you best believe that I would 100% fire Rachel Zegler, put someone in there. Like I'd put who's that really beautiful woman? Sydney Sweeney. I would just make Sydney Sweeney Snow White. Everybody would go see that because everybody loves her. And you're right, Daredevil does rock. It's a great season so far. So I think that excuse me, I'm probably going to cough a lot tonight. I do think that the Thunderbolts movie that's coming out too is going to be really, really good. So I have high hopes that Disney's course correcting. I hope for the best. I wonder who else went for that part. Yeah, I would be curious too. Because I know they didn't just pick her. They probably auditioned a couple girls. I would love to know who her competition was.
Snow White are its plot, the hollow payoffs where everything just goes Snow White's way without her actually earning any achievement. The look of the film feels completely fake. The dwarves are nightmare fuel and very annoying and never funny. There's a hilariously and astronomically bad cringe musical number by Gal Gadot. I'm not kidding, it's almost as cringe as the musical number by the evil queen in the Disney Descendants movie series.
Don't you wanna be evil like me? Don't you wanna be mean?
But the issue is that musical number was actually meant to be cringe.
Actually should just replace Gal Gadot too. I will never forgive her for her shitty acting in Wonder Woman. Yeah, it wasn't very good. I mean, she got that part because she's hot. Let's just be realistic about that. Gal Gadot is never going to win no Oscars, but she's nice to look at, so...
And please don't judge me for knowing about the Descendants movie series. I have kids, okay? They've watched it. I've seen it by proxy, okay? The climax and conclusion of the film is complete nonsense, and then there's Rachel Zegler herself. Because she's such a hateful, spoiled brat in real life, seeing her attempt to pretend to be a kind-hearted person requires more suspension of disbelief than telling myself that the moon is made of cheese. She does pull off...
Can you guys think of anybody who has been as hated as Rachel Zegler? I can't think of anyone. I can't think of anybody who has been as hated as Rachel Zegler is in movies. Can anybody think of a movie that's come out of this scale where the lead actor has been so incredibly angry, like people have been so incredibly mad at her? Has watched this on his own and cried. I have. Well, actually, it's not even out in the theaters yet, so I can't. I would have to pirate it, but that would assume that someone somehow got a pre-release copy of it. But I do cry at movies. I'm a sensitive guy sometimes. You know, what can I say? I'm a be sensitive guy. And yeah, I'm surprised, Gypsy, you didn't hear of Sydney Sweeney too. She's very popular right now because of her character on a show called what the hell is that show called? I can't remember what it was, but it put her on the map.
Entitled, stuck up and selfish, perfectly fine, although I don't think she deserves much credit there because she didn't really need to act those parts at all.
I'm a narcissist.
But seriously, this is the woman who wished for half of America to never know peace because they supported the Orange.
So true. I find myself speechless in the midst of this after another 4 years of hatred leaning us towards a world I do not want to live in. Well, see ya. Leading us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. Leading us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want. What? Does she even have kids? She doesn't even have kids yet, and she's already complaining about her daughter having to get an abortion? This is crazy. This is why everybody hates her. Leading us towards a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want. Leading us towards a world that is fearful. Nobody's forcing you to have kids. All right, let's just make that clear. That's not a law. All right, nobody's forcing anybody to have any kids. All right. I shouldn't be this shocked though, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning, and I'm here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forgiving a new path forward. This loss should have not been, and it certainly should not have been by so many votes. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Trump won the popular vote, so she just wished over half of the country, more than half of the country, to never be peaceful and to just have a miserable life. This is why nobody wants this girl. She's already been fired from so many movies that she would have made a fortune on just from this like ridiculous behavior on her behalf. It's the most hateful woman in all of the country, and everybody wonders why nobody wants to see this movie. Disney should never touch her again with a 10-foot pole.
man. That's an extreme level of spiteful cruelty right there. Far beyond someone dying, she wants the people she dislikes to go on in misery and torment, to never know peace. That's what that means. And yes, she apologized for that statement, but forgive me if I don't think it was genuine, especially in light of her pattern of behavior. She has a history of acting like a spiteful, hateful cow.
Yes,
from stoking
exactly
further hate against Gina Carano when the cancel mob went after
Gina Carano calls out Rachel Zegler's hypocrisy after Snow White actress engaged in a hate campaign against her. Rachel Zegler, she, her, hers. Do not make fun of pronouns, even though she has like 9 of them in her name. They are not a joke. Pronouns are validating. Pronouns are cool. Put your pronouns in your bio. I wear my pronouns on a button sometimes. It's a good thing. Bye. At Rachel Zegler. So fucking weird. Like, this is the hill she's choosing to die on. It's like, do you want to be called him or her?
Carano for not putting pronouns in her bio when the hate mod demanded that she bend the knee. Zegler also attacked the original Snow White animation.
You guys remember that? Weird.
Is a stalker. She's expressed that she's entitled to more money for wearing a princess dress on top of the bucket loads of money she's already getting, oblivious to the reality that a lot of people wear far more uncomfortable things for far less than what she is getting paid.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Oh my God. Do you see why nobody likes her? Is it starting to like... Is it starting to like ring any bells for anybody yet? Why nobody likes this girl? He's such an idiot. Yeah, she's stupid. I don't know if you're talking about Rachel Zegler, but I am. But like, this is like why nobody wants. This is why everybody's. This could, like I said, this could be the greatest movie ever made, and nobody will want to watch it because of her.
Also compares herself to a work of art, specifically the Winged Victory statue, and she said it in this weird, self-indulgent non-apology.
To everyone who hates when I win, the Winged Victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
is this supposed to be an apology?
That at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
I totally get it, Gypsy. Yeah, I don't expect everyone to be like in the know about this, but it's definitely something that I think that is going to be a problem for Disney big time, because a lot of people go to the internet, a lot of people stream stuff online, and most of the people who I think are going to go see this are going there just to talk about how they could destroy it. That's never a way you want to go see a movie. You want to go with an open mind to hope it's good. But most people are going to this movie just to like hate on her, which I don't blame them, because she's a very hateful person herself. And usually what you put out into the universe is what you receive back, correct? God, she's so self-inflicted. She really is. That's such a great way to say it. Oh my God, she bitched about wearing a dress. How has I'm not saying that word. Not destroyed her yet. So in case you guys didn't know, she said, if I got to stand there in a Disney dress for 18 hours, I should get paid for every hour it streams, which means that she just wants to be like, and she's already stupidly rich, right? Because of her previous movies. But if she thinks she's going to get the sympathy of like regular people who like have to work jobs they hate, she's crazy. So many of these entitled people in this generation, I want to see what they think about themselves when they're my age. It'll be interesting to see how I think what's going to happen is she's going to disappear for a couple years, and then she's going to start popping back up. But I don't think that anybody wants to touch her right now. It's just a surefire way of, one, making everybody hate your movie, and two, it's a good way of, making sure that your movie flops. I've never seen an actress hate it this much. I've never seen an actress hate it this much.
I think demonstrates who Rachel Zegler is best is this little video here with the text "Respect women today and every day," while at the same time giving everyone the finger. What an astounding display of entitlement, where she demands respect based on nothing but the fact that she is a woman, while explicitly disrespecting everyone else.
This shit like this sends girls back decades.
Hypocrisy, arrogance, and narcissism is just astounding.
I'm a narcissist.
She gets to treat you like garbage while demanding special treatment for herself.
Yep.
It's utterly insufferable. So yes,
true.
anything with Rachel Zegler in it is hard enough to suffer through. It's like salt in the wound because the film is bad enough on its own. And a lot of what makes this film worse is its divergence from the original animation. You see, there are some flaws in the old fairy tales and Disney animations that when adapted to live action you would want to fix. And you can do this with the natural expansion of the
Which
world that
girls?
usually happens in
Barry's
live
wife
action
and partner?
adaptations, such as actually giving the Prince of Cinderella a name.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kit.
There you are, your heart.
It's Kids, I'm on my way.
And a full and authentic personality and story arc that complements the overall plot and demonstrates how Cinderella and the prince fall in love in their first meeting so quickly and how perfectly...
I love her, by the way. I forget what her name is, but she's great in Baby Driver. She was great in the Pam and Tommy Lee stuff. Why can't I know it's going to randomly pop into my head at some point, but... Yeah, love her. Love her. I'm trying to fix this light. This light thing is hanging in the front of my monitor. Why can I not think of her name? She's super famous now, but I cannot think of her name. But yeah, if she was the actress, I'd go see it for sure.
Suited they are to one another.
It's that wonderful girl. I can't stop thinking about her. And her spirit, her goodness.
I don't suppose she has a sister.
Well, that's why I got EG's inbox, so you guys can send me some stuff to react to.
Seriously,
Even though apparently I steal content, which we'll get to later.
the meeting of the prince, named Kit, and Cinderella in the live action is such a masterpiece that I made a whole video exploring it on Shadowversity. The scene is truly
What's up, Care
brilliant.
Bear? I saw you. I saw you sneak into the class. You're marked tardy for the party, but we're still glad you're here. You're not marked absent for the day.
Contrast this with the Snow White live action when
Lily James. Thank you, Carla. Stop. Lily James. Love her. She's awesome. She's a great actress. Big fan of her. And she's gorgeous, too. So easy on the eyes.
every time they expand the world and characters,
But
the
every
film
movie
creates
she's ever been in, I've always been a fan in.
plot holes, inconsistencies, and convoluted nonsense that does the literal opposite in addressing some of the shortcomings of the original.
By the way, there's a reason I'm keeping the guest a secret because, just because. I think it'll be more fun when everything gets revealed.
Tale, but makes the film actively worse. Some examples of this are, say, The Magic of the Queen, where it actively shows her doing more with her magic, which raises questions as to why doesn't she use that magic when it's more convenient and expedient for her.
By the way, can I just talk about how much I hate this outfit for Maleficent? Is this in... She's not Maleficent, right? That's, Is that... That's not Maleficent, right? It's a different queen. Is it? With the horns? Yeah, I can't remember who Maleficent is, but I don't know what is up with this. Like, let her hair be free. It's beautiful that way.
Where it would help her out more. They just kind of forget about that. Then there's the diverse bandit hippies and how they've been forced into the story and all the implications revolving around them. Then there's the relationship and non-romance
Yeah, I hope you feel better, Jammer.
of Snow White and the bandit lover boy, which we'll expand on further a bit later. Also, Dopey the dwarf is not stupid anymore, he's just misunderstood, because heaven forbid you have a dumb character there that is dumb for comic relief, because that's just unacceptable.
It's a different character. I thought so. I couldn't remember which... Is that Sleeping Beauty has Maleficent? Or is it Rapunzel? No, it's not. I think it's Sleeping Beauty, right? That has Maleficent. But this is just like the evil queen, right? All those nasty queens were interchangeable. Yes, I know. Like, why would they make them look exactly the same? That's what I don't get, because she kind of looks like Maleficent, right? Like, if you want the queen to be the fairest of all, like, why don't you just make her hot, you know?
Ableist in this day and age. And then there are the...
Yeah, you're not allowed to be stupid anymore, apparently, even though, like, that's all we cover on this channel is stupid people.
issues of the expanded conclusion and climax of the film in comparison to the animation.
But we
this
are fair.
live-action
We are
remake
fair.
fixes none of the shortcomings of the original animation story, but creates vastly more problems in its attempts to make it more palatable for a modern woke audience. Seriously, several of these changes were obviously done for woke sensibilities, like Snow White now being a girl boss who's willing to fight soldiers and wants to be a leader of her kingdom that will lead a revolution against the wicked queen. The changes they make to
Which, not very believable. If you were to ask me, I wouldn't consider that to be very believable. That's a dwarf that just looks like a normal kid. Yes, a lot of people said that they're just terrifying to look at, and he kind of is. Like he's got a normal size eyes, but his head's like small, and his nose is big and his ears are big. Like this is a lot of people are saying that the dwarves are just nightmare fuel.
Dopey so he doesn't come off as ableist, and the pathetic, barely peck of a kiss to wake Snow White from her eternal sleep.
Maybe everyone
because
is
a
stupid.
proper kiss given to an unconscious woman that has not consented is tantamount to rape. Even though the kiss would be to save her life, and the larger context is that Snow White would happily accept a good old unconscious.
She probably hated this part. She probably absolutely. Imagine being this guy and knowing that this girl just is sleeping. Maleficent is Sleeping Beauty. Okay, so I did get that part right. I'm not up to date on my Disney fantasy characters. I know my Marvel shit though. You could tell that she absolutely hated this part. Could not hate it anymore. And this poor guy, has to try to win her over, knowing full on well that she wants nothing to do with him.
Just pash. Because they're supposed to be in love, aren't they? Otherwise, true love's kiss wouldn't even work. It's incompetence like this that the film is just filled with. So much so that it doesn't even know what message.
I like the new Wonka too. I thought Timothée Chalamet did a pretty good job. And I think that he looked really good in that movie with that he's playing Bob Dylan in. I think he won like a Golden Globe for that or something. But yeah, it looks like a great film.
It wants to give, robbing nearly every single payoff of any justification or authenticity, leaving you with a feeling of
This is just She-Hulk over again.
You
Kinda. Yeah, like you think that they would learn their lesson from She-Hulk, but apparently not.
wonder why you're even watching this pointless, soulless cash grab, although I don't think this is going to turn out to be the type of cash grab Disney originally wanted. Of course, I would much rather have gotten a good live-action version, like the live-action Cinderella. But we don't always get what we want. Sometimes we get spammed with things we don't want, and luckily there's a way we can prevent a lot of that spam coming your way, which is the sponsor of this video. So here's the thing. Your information
Wow,
is
I did not expect this guy to look like this, but with that said, it totally makes sense now. Look at all of his books. That's a lot of books, man. Star Wars, Star Trek. This guy's very knowledgeable. Game of Thrones. What we got up here? Any Lord of the Rings? He's got to have some Lord of the Rings. I'm not seeing any Lord of the Rings. Do you guys see any Lord of the Rings? Am I missing it? I'm just going to skip over Incogni, but I hope that they paid him a lot of money.
Information gets sold to large data brokers as well as your movements online.
That's a pretty
Things you might
long-
be interested in, what you're purchasing.
This is a pretty
That's
long
all valid
sponsor.
Annual Incogni plan. It's a massive discount, promo code.
It does.
Nights, all in capital.
You know what his voice sounds like? His voice sounds like he should be like narrating nature documentaries. The seductive bouclat, a bird from Africa. Look how it flies through the air. Beautiful, majestic, loving. Honestly, kind of just looks like your average Tim.
Nights with a K.
I'm gonna start reading your guys' comments like a nature video. Okay, shared her last vid, bro. Okay, enough of another content creator. Not saying anything about Care Bears editing. Just the fool who thinks AI is editing.
And protect your personal information online. So thank you to Incogni for sponsoring this video. All
This
right,
is why I
now
love-
I'm going to point out that
I will admit though, this is what I love about YouTube. Like this, you could tell this guy's like in his like late 40s, early 50s, and he's still able to make a living doing YouTube, which I think is awesome. That's why I love it so much. He talks too fast for Attenborough. Attenborough is a legend, dude. David Attenborough. I wish he'd narrate like my funeral or something.
the major problems of the film, which is your spoiler
or my
warning.
life, my whole life.
What I said about the pathetic payoffs is absolutely...
Okay, this is a spoiler warning. All right, I need to ask you guys in the chat. 1 in the chat if you do not give a crap about the spoiler warnings. 2 in the chat if you really don't care and you want me to just keep going anyway. Go, EG. Soul says go. I'm going to count that as a 2. Carl Stop says 8, which clearly means that she cannot follow the directions and that she's dopey. She's the dopey one. Blue Jay does not want spoilers. No spoilers for Daniel's crew. No spoilers for Janie Minaj. No spoilers for Tina K. Okay, we'll end the video here then. We will not continue on. Oh, did you guys just not realize which one it is? Did I say? I think both choices I said were basically like stop going with the video. All right, let me try this again. 1 in the chat if you do not want me to continue the video because you're worried about spoilers. 2 in the chat if you don't care about spoilers and you want me to keep going. All right, there we go. That'd be a lot clearer because I think I gave both options the same the same one. Yeah, because I think everybody, Sarah Known a Little with a 4. Why are you putting 4 in the chat, Sarah? That wasn't an option. It was not an option. I did not say, hey, Sarah, here's option 4. Skip rocks. Blue Jay's just like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. Don't give a crap. All right, I'm just going to assume nobody cares. All right. If you don't want to get spoiled, even though most people know the story of Snow White, then all right, everybody's writing 2. Okay, so I think I just confused the shit out of everybody in the first options because everybody was writing 1. But normally, typically 1 is like my keep going and 2 is like my stop. So I did mess that up.
True, and all films rely on good payoffs to some extent to make it a satisfying experience, which is one of the big reasons this film
Blue Jay said
fails
double
so
twos.
much. For instance, Snow White has no reason to want to lead her people.
Annihilator's over here confusing me because he put a 1 and a 2 in the chat, so I think he's just conflicted at this point.
She's utterly sheltered and literally says she does not know what is going on in the outside world, and for all she knows, what the Queen is doing is completely justified, and when she learns of some of the issues, she has no real reason to believe them, but her
Sarah,
solution
get
is
out
to
of here,
make
dirty
them
girl.
apple pie. I kid you not. Why not just say, let them eat cake at this point, Marie Antoinette? Yeah, she's a real political mastermind here, yet her desire to want to lead the kingdom simply comes from entitlement, because she's meant to, not because she knows she can do a better job or will be better for the people, and already Snow White is coming off as entitled, which is a real achievement because up to this point in the film, she's basically a slave. So when Snow White ultimately does...
Look, I'm not for slavery, but maybe for this particular Snow White, that's the best move. 21 Grove Street, what's that from? That's from... Grand Theft Auto. I almost broke my brain there for a second. I shut down. My computer shut down in my brain for a second there.
Become the leader of her kingdom at the end of the film, we don't care. She never showed herself to be good at it. Quite the opposite, actually. So our investment in this whole primary goal of the character is utterly undermined. The Queen is supposed to be enraged when learning from the mirror that the huntsman didn't kill Snow White. And her rage, the payoff, is undermined by the setup. You see, in the original version, the huntsman gave the evil queen the heart of a pig in place of Snow White's heart. But in this version, instead of a heart being...
Her and Blake Lively need to pair up and start an agency of girl bosses no one else wants to hire. Yeah, doesn't that suck for Ryan Reynolds? Although apparently he's kind of a prick too, but I still like him as Deadpool. Like, I'm conflicted because on one hand, I always really liked Ryan Reynolds, but on the other hand, I've heard like nightmare stories about how he treats people in real life, which is kind of lame. And I am a firm believer in karma. The way that you treat people is the way that you get treated back. So if you're a dick to everybody and you're mean to everybody, chances are a lot of people are going to be mean to you. But if you're kind and you're fair, then most people will be kind and fair back to you. Most people, I say, because there's always the exception, like certain people who just have complete mental issues that will never treat you fairly.
inside the box, it's an apple. Do you see why this doesn't work? That means the Queen never looked inside the box to confirm Snow is dead, which would have been revealed if she simply checked. So now, with this change, the Queen is an idiot that didn't even look inside the box to confirm that the huntsman did the job, and this payoff, the reveal of her pulling out the apple from the box, just makes her look like a moron. The Loverboy bandit hippie dude has no reason to fall in love with Snow. Yes, she saved him in the beginning, but when meeting again, she acts like a stuck-up brat, not thanking him for saving her life from the soldiers looking for her.
Yeah, because she's a girl boss. She don't need no man, right? Isn't that the whole thing? I don't want no man. I don't need no man. I can do this myself. Even though I feel like I would probably at least say 80% of males could probably beat up Rachel Zegler.
That someone's guilty of being a total badass. Chick Dugs approves this message.
Marie F. Super Chatted $2. Preach those karma facts, CG.
Thank you.
Emoji.
Thank you, Marie. Appreciate that. That's right. Karma is a real thing, people. Karma is a real thing. Whatever you put out into the universe is what you get back. Don't get it twisted. It might not get you right away, but it will get you. I don't know what's up with my, I don't know why my camera thing is being so weird, but it's not freezing, so I'm just going to keep rolling with it, I guess. Okay. I don't know a lot of evil people walking the earth untouched by karma. That's very true, Valerie. See, that's a good point. All people who are mean to others tend to be very lonely. What's up, E-Shift? How you doing? What did you miss? We're just bashing the new Snow White, basically. Just having fun laughing at how terrible Rachel Zegler is as a person. And how it translates into her character, apparently.
He clearly expresses his annoyance with her, even going into a full song about annoying princess problems. Their interactions do not come off like opposites attracting or sexual tension. She gives him no reason to like her, even though he tries to justify it later by saying he forgot what it meant to have courage and hope until Snow White showed her what it was. And that Snow White fought for him and didn't give up on him, so is not going to give up on her. The problem is that none of that actually...
You're right, guys.
Look at that. Someone's guilty of being a total badass. Chick Dugs approves this message.
Solid Luna Super Chatted $5. We see the fool who is a royal ass hat. Karma does too, and Sol, the fool better fear Sol's wrath.
Yeah! It's the soul horn, baby. The soul horn. Oh, darn, I missed a bunch of fun. Yes, we are having a good time, although my brain is working at half speed today because I have a serious sinus infection right now, so that really sucks. It's making me lose my voice, but we're still having a good time. There'll be no singing tonight, though. There'll be no singing, but here's a quick song for you. I call that song Rachel Zegler. Rachel Zegler. EG, I posted your link in my Discord, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you, fun guy. I hope everybody in our Discord will check out Fun Guy's channel as well. We all work together. A rising tide raises all ships. Isn't that right? And we all do different things. If you're in the mood for scam baiting or, you know, taking down scammers, Fun Guy's the guy to go see. If you like hearing different perspectives on culture and stuff, I think that's why it's so fun, is because we're not like competitors. Like, we do completely different types of content, which I think is really fun. A Grammy. Yeah, thank you. I agree. That was a great song. Here's another one. This is a hit song that is going to be on an album next year. That song's called Do It, Do It, Girl. I'm being so strange. Thank you, Mr. T. And again, I apologize for calling you Mr. J. And well, I think I was pissing off J Sauce more than anybody when I kept calling you Mr. J last stream. But I know it's Mr. T's 2 Cold Janes now. But I'm appreciate all the new faces in here. We're gonna try our best to continue to entertain y'all. All right, that's what we do. Fun Guy is okay, meh. I think I said to Soul the other day. I was like, what's the mushroom guy's name again? Because Fun Guy is like I was thinking of like Yeah, like mushrooms and stuff. But you're a fun guy. But it's like it's a double entendre, so it's super fun. But I definitely see. There you go. Everybody's subscribing to him. I dig it. But I laugh because I called him the mushroom guy, even though you're a fun guy. He's supposed to be a fun guy, but I keep confusing him with a mushroom. Pardon me.
Actually happened. Snow didn't fight for them. She didn't fight for anyone. All she did was berate him, get some soldiers' attention, and stole a horse. And then she ended up getting the guy shot by a crossbow. That's it. She didn't do anything to fight for the people or resist while enslaved. She literally says she doesn't know what's going on in the outside world. But the movie really wants to tell you she really did fight for them. And
coming through.
Oh, watch out.
Get out of the way, all you peasants.
Solid Luna just gifted 5 memberships.
Check that out. Annihilator just got... New Moon got one. Look at that. Soul's cleaning up. Chappie got one. Damn, that was a home run hit right there. Like half of the chat just got memberships. That's what I'm talking about. Way to go, Soul. Check you out. I'm not playing that to make fun of Soul. That's the Soul horn. She prefers the sad horn more than the hype horn. Thank you, Soul. Much love to you. Seriously.
Give them hope. The film is literally trying to gaslight you that Snow is remarkable and achieves something really meaningful to earn this guy's love, which...
He really does look like a deer in the headlights, don't he? That's a great way to describe him.
She didn't. The guy falling in love with Snow is a hollow payoff that is not at all earned. This also undermines the true love kiss scene because their love is built on nothing. Contrast this with the relationship with the live-action Cinderella, where they managed to get the two characters to fall completely in love in a single scene. And it feels totally believable. Their personalities shine through and each line feeds into the other, where each character becomes more attracted to the other based on what they are saying and how the other expresses views, outlooks, and character traits that the other admires and loves.
Do they treat you well?
Better than I deserve, most likely. And you?
They treat me as well as they are able.
I'm sorry.
It's not your doing.
Nor yours either, I'll bet.
It's not so very bad. Others have it worse, I'm sure. We must simply have courage and be kind, mustn't we?
Yes.
That is I'll admit, this is a pretty good scene. They feel like to me that they are falling in love.
You're right.
I like both these actors though too. He was great in Game of Thrones. Pretty terrible though in the Eternals, but that wasn't really his fault. That was more of the writing's fault.
That's exactly how I feel.
Please don't let them hurt him.
But we're hunting, you see. It's what's done.
Just because it's what's done doesn't mean it's what should be done.
Right again.
Then you'll leave him alone, won't you?
I will.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kid.
Wow, she is seductive, bro. Look at this. Look at this last look here. If that's not like jump my bones, I don't know what is. What movie is this? Sleeping Beauty. This is Cinderella. This was a Cinderella remake, and apparently this is like 10 times better than the Snow White one. But he's using this as an example to show like what chemistry between like characters that are supposed to be falling in love looks like, compared to what I guess you got in Snow White. But just check out her face. Hey, what's up, Chappie? Good to see you, Chappie. Happy to see that name pop back up in the chat. But look at her face again. Just like this last little look she gives him is just like, you know, she loves him.
You'll leave him alone, won't you?
I will.
Thank you very much.
That look. You know, if a girl's ever given you that look, she's interested. Okay, boys? Yeah, and J Sauce knows. She's an actress.
Mr. Kid.
Where in Snow White and the many interactions and scenes between the lover boy and Snow, where it all comes off like they should hate each other, and the true love's kiss, which should be the biggest moment in the film, is pathetically hollow and void.
Shout out Chappie and Trilogy Media. they're crushing it. They're doing 10 times better than I am. Probably like, actually, no, it's like 100 times better than I am. No, actually, it's like 100,000 times better than I am because they're like at millions of subscribers. And I have 3,000. So it's like hundreds of thousands of times better than I'm doing. But make sure you guys go check that out because those are Chappie's boys.
As a result. And then we come to the conclusion of the film, and there are multiple robbed
Care Bear looked at Fun Guy like that
one
once.
after the other that ruin any investment or enjoyment. Snow White comes back alive thanks.
Yeah, Chappie, it's so good to see you in there. I'm glad that you're busy. That means that you're doing big things. That's good. That's a good thing. When you're busy, that means that you're stopping scammers, and that's a beautiful thing.
To the supposed true love's kiss, and unlike the original, where that was the finale and the queen had met her untimely death thanks to the dwarves chasing her up a mountain in a storm where she fell to her death, here the dwarves do nothing and Snow must lead a rebellion to overthrow the queen. Wow, that's like a movie in and of its own. How the hell will Snow achieve this in the last 10 minutes of the film? Well, by simply walking into town and expecting everyone to come to her side, which they do, even though it's been...
Mr. Who says, that's what I've been missing. Whenever they look at me like that way, I think that they have to use the bathroom. Yeah, you've been probably misinterpreting a few things over the years, Mr. Hoot. A girl looks at Mr. Hoot like she wants to love him forever, and Mr. Hoot's like, it's down the corner and on the left, hon. What is? The bathroom. Oh, no, that... Okay. Okay.
Been established in the beginning that the Princess Snow White has not been seen for so many years that no one even knows or remembers what she looks like anymore. But that's conveniently changed now. Everyone knows who she is and comes to her side because she's just that entitled. Reality literally warps to give her exactly what she wants. Then the Queen, instead of sending out her soldiers and suppressing this burgeoning rebellion, conveniently walks out of the castle to confront Snow White herself. Even giving Snow a dagger, and the Queen tells Snow to kill her. Now, I would have laughed if Snow just stabbed her right then and there, but because Snow is actually useless and doesn't really do or achieve anything of her own merit, she, of course, doesn't do anything, and the Queen takes the dagger back, giving it to a soldier and telling him to go kill Snow White instead. Snow simply tells the soldier his name.
You know, it's funny, how many comments did we see where people were like, I'm rooting for the apple? And Snow White's like a beloved, she's supposed to be like a beloved Disney character. And like everybody's like, I hope the apple wins.
And how nice he was in the past. And that is enough to turn an evil henchman to her side and defy the evil, all-powerful queen who could murder his family who are actually standing right there in the crowd. His flip doesn't come off as believable in any measure, nor do the other soldiers who all magically...
Everybody's going crazy. Chappie's in the chat. There's a big old celebrity over there.
He turned to Snow White.
That's why we missed her. Gives the chat some electric...
side because she remembers.
Yeah, go Apple.
Names. It's another unearned payoff where Snow White doesn't do nearly enough to inspire the henchmen to change their ways, but because reality warps itself to Snow's entitled whims, they do. She is just
I heard
that
Chappie's
amazing.
here too.
The Queen takes the dagger and tries to kill Snow, where she is saved by a dwarf. Not by anything Snow does, she's useless, and not by any of the 7 dwarves. No, they're also useless
What's up,
in this
Kim?
film, even though they're literally the ones who defeated the Queen in the anime.
I am no celebrity. I'm just some random guy who talks about some random stuff online. That is me. I'll just stick to the cartoon versions. Don't care for the live action ones. You know what Snow White I did like? Snow White and the Huntsman with Chris Evans. I thought, well, not Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. I thought that was a pretty good Snow White because it was like gritty, you know? Yeah, everybody knows who Chappie is. Chappie, big star. She's a big star. She's gonna be a big star. She does a lot of good for the world, though. And that's a good thing.
Animation. Instead of casting actual dwarf actors to play the 7 dwarves, they throw in a token little person role amongst the bandit hippies. And
let me guess, it was, no, it wasn't, what's that guy's name? Peter Dinklage? This is all Peter Dinklage's fault. Because he says that it's insensitive to cast little people in little people roles. Because, which I think is just his way of making sure that he gets every little person role ever. Deo. Is Deo in the chat? I haven't seen him forever.
And it is that dwarf who shoots the crossbow that knocks the dagger out of the Queen's hand. It's actually funny, like the single token roll makes up for the lost 7 leading rolls the others might have had. Good work there, Peter Dinklage. The Queen seems to forget
Our guest should be coming pretty soon.
that she can do magic and just runs away into her castle where the mirror tells her she's not the fairest, and she smashes the mirror, which then happens to kill her for reasons.
What? The mirror kills her? That's got to be the lamest thing I've ever seen. The mirror kills her. She smashes the mirror for not being the fairest of them all, which we all know is a total bullshit lie if we're going to suggest that Rachel Zegler's anywhere close to as pretty as Gal Gadot is. Audio's breaking up. Audio's glitching. It looks like it's fine on my end. It must be it must be something to do with the connection. Saul's audio is good. So is yours, EG. The audio is delayed with the live stream. That's strange. It's got to be an internet thing. It's got to be an internet connection issue. Because I'm looking at the audio volume bar seems to be working fine on my end. So it's got to be the internet connection. Okay, so as long as it's good for some people, then that means it's probably on somebody else's end. Unless someone's trying to take down our stream. Someone's trying to ruin our stream tonight. Soul's audio is good. Good. Thank you. Okay, good. That's always good when we get some confirmation. No issues on my side. My audio is fine. Okay, good. Beautiful. Good.
Yes, that's it. The Queen literally kills herself because she didn't like what the mirror said. And Snow or the dwarves did nothing.
E.g. lately today at my work, I have been picked and bullied by mean people at my job. I'm sick of it. Yo, Kim, let me tell you something. I sit next to a bully every day at work. I cannot stand this guy. Hates me for literally no reason at all. Just absolutely hates my guts. And I used to do his work for him when he'd come in hungover. And the guy just absolutely hates my guts. So I totally get where you're coming from. I use him, though, for motivation towards my YouTube channel. Because I use that as, like, I don't ever want to be like that guy. I don't ever want to get to a point where I'm so upset with my life that I have to hate someone and get everyone else around me to hate someone to make me feel better about myself. So, unfortunately, like, you know, it's not always easy to be the bigger person, but sometimes it's necessary for your own peace, you know? Bullies do suck. I think we can all agree. Bullies friggin' suck.
Wow, this film is so bad. But we're not done yet. Here are some of the convoluted moments in the film that just make you shake your head in, like, sheer confusion. The king just happened to leave the kingdom based on some rumors spread by the queen. Up and leaves his whole kingdom. I mean, send some scouts, send an army. Don't go off yourself, not until a full-blown war is upon you. I mean, holy crap, but nah, he's just gone and out of the picture. The Loverboy Bandit gets tied to the outer gate early on in the film with flimsy rope that anyone could get out of. But Snow is the one who unties him out in the open where anyone could see her disobeying the queen, but just too dumb to realize that. And of course, the evil queen is watching the whole thing out in the open. Snow White is wearing a peasant dress when serving in the castle because she's basically a slave, and when given leave to go outside and pick apples, another manual job, she's suddenly wearing her classic princess dress for that. I mean, the context of the film literally establishes that she's no longer treated like a princess. So there is no reason why she would have been given her iconic dress for that task. When Snow White...
That makes sense. This guy is on point. By the way, this guy's name's Night's Watch. Pretty good video. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I'd suggest y'all go give him a thumbs up too, because he's letting us watch his video today. Assuming he doesn't copyright strike us. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job doing fair use. But yeah, make sure you guys show love to the creators that we watch on this channel.
Runs through the forest, she falls through a hole in the ground and lands in a stream of water, like underground for some reason, and it's not explained. They just move past that. The dwarves are now literally hundreds of years old, but have never heard a person whistle before or even know what that is. After Snow White ditches the dwarves and goes off to fight the queen, she magically runs into the bandit she freed before in the middle of a cursed forest at the exact time when she was about to be found by the queen's soldiers.
Sounds about Disney to me. It's giving Disney. It's giving. Can we start using that in the chat, guys? Have you guys heard that term? It's giving, and then you say something that it reminds you of. So from now on, along with I heard things, you have to say it's giving Cinderella, even though this is not giving Cinderella. It's giving Disney.
Oh, so convolutedly convenient, isn't it? Reality warping itself yet again to save Snow from her own uselessness. The bandits decide to fight armored soldiers when outnumbered 2-1 with only sticks and rocks in their hands, and they don't get slaughtered wholesale, which in reality, yeah, totally they would. It would have literally been suicide, but they choose to fight anyway because they know they will be protected by the convoluted plot. Loverboy takes an arrow for Snow, which she doesn't even realize, even though it happened right in front of her, and he is literally fighting for his life, even though the arrow bolt landed in his shoulder. But regardless, it's so deadly that he is on death's door, and he is miraculously saved by the dwarf Doc, who acts like an idiot but still saves him.
Also, how do these glasses work at all in this guy's face? What's up, Jess? It's Skibbity. It's giving Tatty. That's what it's doing right now. It's giving Tatty right now. Chappie, I heard it's giving. It's definitely giving, guys. What is the deal with these glasses? How do they even work? Like, he'd have to look down and then outward. If he were to look straight down, first off, his nose is blocking both of his... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. It's giving non-optics.
Through the power of stupidity. And I'm not kidding. Doc thought he killed the guy. He was so incompetent, but never mind. The plot saves Loverboy anyway. Even though Snow White didn't even realize or thank the guy for saving her life, multiple times, mind you, and the fact that she's acted like an entitled brat, he...
I see somebody in the chat that has piqued my interest. Make your way over to the Discord, sir. As soon as I'm done this video, it's on.
Now falls in love with her for reasons that I cannot fathom because they are not present in this story. Loverboy goes off to look for Snow's dad.
The reading glasses
walks into a net trap.
I know they're supposed to be reading glasses, but like the lens, like, can you imagine if my lenses were all the way out here? Like, where I'd have to look in two opposite directions to be able to use them properly.
That was seemingly placed randomly in the forest, but the plot demanded that he is captured at this point in time. So he just so happens to walk over the single place in the giant forest where the soldiers placed a net trap down, even though they would have no idea anyone might walk past that spot. The queen, who sent out her entire army to find Snow, realized that she can find Snow easily with her bird familiar, but instead of using that to lead her army to capture or kill Snow, the queen decides to make a far more convoluted and retarded plan to turn into the classic witch and give Snow a poisoned apple. Do you see what
my God, that's Gal Gadot. That's supposed to be Gal Gadot right here.
I mean about the expanded world in this version making the plot far more stupid? The queen now has an army already...
I think everybody knows who my guest is now.
...searching the forest, so why is she going herself if she can find Snow so easily? Just get your bird to show the army which way to go, you moron. Also, why use the poison apple now? There's no need.
Oh, it's going to get very interesting very quickly.
The expanded part...
If you guys thought Snow White was entertaining, you guys have no idea.
Parts of this remake utterly ruin the classic plot points, some of which did need a bit more further justification as they were, but now instead of giving us that justification like they did in the Cinderella remake, like expanding why there was a demand that the prince marry a princess.
It's giving Zegler. It's definitely giving Zegler right now.
The prince was, or many other parts of the classic tale that needed more explanation. This Snow White remake makes things actually worse and more nonsensical. The live-action Snow White is a very bad film and an even worse remake. It completely misses the point of what fairy tales are supposed to be, which doesn't surprise me because such a thing is utterly lost on current day
I'll give him a formal
introduction. At the core, most fairy tales resonate with deep, timeless truths. That is why they have lasted so long. Whether it be a cautionary tale with a message that we can learn from, or if it be an inspiring tale showing the complementary roles of men and women through the many depictions of the damsel in distress trope, or if it's a tale of hope and true love, or all of those combined. And it is due to these timeless truths why Disney is currently incapable of making a good fairy tale story, because the company and most of the people within it resent and are actively trying to subvert those truths that most fairy tales are founded on. If the people in that company don't even know what a woman is, they will never be able to tell a tale that most women will resonate with. Snow White in the classic animation is a damsel in distress that needs to be saved, and her classic feminine goodness inspires others to want to save her. She wasn't a girl boss who's determined to save herself, lead a revolution, or act so entitled, stuck up, and selfish that the people around her, who do choose to save her, don't have any justification in the plot to actually want to. And just like the false heart that the huntsman gave to the evil queen, this Snow White live action is a cheap imitation of the original that doesn't possess a fraction of the heart or truth that caused so many to fall in love with it in the first place and made it a timeless classic. So until next time, stay on watch.
Great video. Solid breakdown by Night's Watch. Make sure you guys go check him out. Give him a like. He's got 163,000 subscribers, so he's crushing it right now. He's doing a great job. All right. I promised you guys a fight. And a fight's what you're going to get. You're going to get a fight. Okay? Hang on. Let me just do some stuff here. I got to put myself up here. Because I gotta bring some things up here. Gotta bring some things up. Oh, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. All right.
Well, so, would you look at that? Someone's guilty of being a total badass. Chick Nugs approves this message.
Solid Luna super chatted $2. Prepare yourselves.
Prepare your bodies. Prepare your bodies, guys. Thank you, Soul. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. All right, so I told you guys that we were going to be picking a fight tonight. This is not a new fight that we're going to be picking. This is going to be, all right, this is going to be me continuing a fight that was supposed to be ended if someone just behaved themselves properly. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like this person wants to behave themselves properly. So, I typically never do this, and I never would do this. This is very unlike me as a person, and I never tend to share private correspondence between me and anybody else unless you threaten me. Unless you threaten my channel. Unless you void all the goodwill I've given you and decide to start hurling accusations at me. I typically would never do this, but I'm kind of being forced to, unfortunately. So a couple weeks, what was it, like 2-3 weeks ago, we covered Matterpall. And I did it with Pecan Head. Rest in peace, Pecan Head. Now, obviously, we don't have Pecan Head here anymore, who was kind of the one leading this charge, which leaves it to some other people to step up and to watch what's going on with another particular streamer named Matterpall, who is a scam baiter who likes to, who seems to like to glaze himself very, very hard. Glazes himself very, very hard. I'm not going to put this stuff up on screen now, but there was an incident that took place. So apparently, somebody who was a former member of the community said that she had seen him do something with his animal that she did not like at all. Conversation took place in the Discord. Now, I just want to be very clear. In my Discord, we do not dox anybody. We do not share any private information whatsoever. And I tell people all the time, it's giving Krispy Kreme. It is definitely giving Krispy Kreme right now. We don't share personal information of anybody. If I catch anybody doing that, you will be banned. It's simple as that, okay? Now, with that said, an incident took place where people were getting concerned about something that had happened on his stream. I didn't witness it, so I'm only going off of what I've been told, but I'll get someone in here later to kind of break it down a little more. Anyway, somebody, I guess, in the Discord thought that that was, making them scared for the animal. So they ended up making a call. I didn't condone it. I had no idea any of this happened. I don't endorse that kind of stuff. Without solid proof, I would never be okay with someone calling anybody on anything. So it was a big misunderstanding. But apparently I got dragged into this because it took place in my Discord. And again, I just want to be very clear. I do not support. You guys know, right? I covered this Gamer Payback stuff, and I talked about how horrible it was when Discords get together and brigade content creators. However, sometimes people do pretty sketchy things. So, I'm trying to find the stuff. Okay, I think I found it. All right. So, I received an email from the person that we were talking to. Now, again, normally I would typically never, ever... You didn't miss anything yet, Daniel Screw. Not going the way I thought. We're gonna be bringing Limey on, okay? We're gonna be bringing Limey on. He's gonna be my guest tonight. But I want to go through this real quick before we bring Limey on. So... after my stream with Pecan, I received an email from Modder Paul. I'm not going to use his real name, even though everybody does online. And I guess he wasn't too happy with the stream. And typically I would never share personal correspondence between me and somebody else. But considering that I'm being threatened in these emails, I'm going to talk about them. I don't take being threatened lightly. I don't appreciate being threatened. Especially when I wasn't even considered to be asked first if I knew anything about it. They just assumed that I'm involved in all of this, which I'm not. So this is the first email that I received. I'm not going to put it up on screen because I don't want any of his information getting out, even though this is technically all readily available information, I guess. So the first email I received was on February 26th. I believe this was right after we did the stream. So just under a month ago. And this is from Modder Paul. He says, I raised the money and I'm getting my operation on March 22nd. I really wish you didn't produce that video. It's unfair to talk about another streamer without getting their input, which I totally agree with him there. I'm not disagreeing with him. On my YouTube/Twitch streams, I make just enough money to pay my bills, but medical out of my reach. Typically, this is when someone would get a job, Paul. I call him Paul, even though I know his name's Ray, but I call him Paul because that's the name of his channel. So, he says, now the whole reason this even happened in the first place was because Pecan had come to me with some concerns that he thought that Modder Paul was taking advantage of his audience by claiming that he wanted, a certain amount of money for his medical conditions. And then after he got it, he would just continue raising the amount that he wanted, almost like he was trying to be like, okay, well, I'm going to ride the wave and see how much I can get out of these people. My guess is that he reached his goal much more faster than he expected. Yes, this is all allegedly, by the way. My guess is that he reached his goal a lot faster than he expected. So he was like, you know what? I just started this thing. I should probably try to see if I could get a little more. And then he raised his GoFundMe from what started out as $1,600 to $16,000. It eventually got to. Pecan had knew more about this, but this is why I have Limey here. Limey knows much more about this stuff than me, but I'm just trying to set all this up for you guys so that you guys are all caught up for anybody who's not familiar with what happened here. So he said, the GoFundMe campaigns are no longer running because I was able to raise the funds. Dysphagia is dangerous, a deadly condition. Umbilical hernia is also deadly dangerous. Why can't people understand? I need to seek out help to get these operations. Please consider removing your video. Pecanhead is infuriated with making videos. It was infatuated with making videos about me without even consulting with me. It's bad practice. This was why Pecanhead was still alive. I didn't even see this until March 6th. I didn't see that he even emailed me until March 6th. It was up to $30,000 at one point. Yeah. See, I know a lot of people in the chat know more about his community than me. I'm just simply speaking from my perspective. And then Limey's going to come in and tell me more information that he knows. So I reply, hello, Ray. I would love to get your input and allow you the opportunity to defend yourself from his accusations. Unfortunately, as you may have heard, Pecanhead passed away this week. So I'm sure it may be a touchy time to talk about this, but my door is always open. I try to be as fair as possible. I meant no ill will towards you. I just enjoy a good story. And as you know, if you watch the stream, I wish nothing but the best for you. Again, would love to talk. That was me basically saying, listen, dude, I'm not out here trying to screw anybody over. Pecanhead came to me with some stuff and I gave him an opportunity to show me it. And I thought that a lot of the stuff that he said had validity to it. So Modder Paul then says, he passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. What he was doing was taking snips, but that quickly he just dismisses Pecanhead passing away. And apparently, according to someone in my community, he was already aware of that, so I don't know why he would act shocked that he passed away, unless to sell the idea that he didn't, he was trying to know. I can attest that EG is fair with the knowledge he has. Thank you, Gypsy Rose. I try to be. What he was doing was taking snips of my live streams and not including the context. I don't know what context we're missing. I mean, I thought it was pretty clear to everybody who watched. He claimed that he had medical issues and that he needed money to pay for them. Unfortunately, people have ways of looking up those medical conditions. Plus, by the way, guys, if you don't understand this, Pecanhead had real serious medical conditions. You know this. He's no longer with us. That should show you how serious his medical conditions was. And Pecanhead never asked for a handout. And I think this is where the whole thing comes from. The whole issue stems around him not asking for money. By the way, I just want to be very clear, Modder Paul, if you're watching, and I'm guessing you probably are, you are more than welcome to call in and defend yourself here. All right, I'm not an unfair guy. In fact, we'll get to this, but I offered a debate between him and Limey to hash it out, and I said this would be a great opportunity for you, Paul, to defend yourself. He says, thanks for your understanding. I'm a fan of yours and loved your work defending Scammer Payback. Pierogi and I are good friends, and I hated seeing what that female content creator was doing. He's based there. Pierogi did get screwed over by that girl, Hina, and I was appreciative of him saying that he was a fan of mine. Now, I wanted you to see how quickly this switches up, okay? I want you to see how quickly this switches up. So I replied to him, I try to approach every situation with an open mindset. I think what concerned me was the amount the GoFundMe was raised from. If he kept his GoFundMe at $1,600, I don't think that this story would ever even be talked about. $1,600 seems reasonable if you're struggling with medical conditions. However, when it gets raised to $16,000, I think that people tend to get a little more worried, Especially if you're that low income, you should be able to get on Medicaid of some type and get some assistance. So then I wrote, I don't think that you're a bad guy, Ray. I just think the optics look bad. And yeah, tragically, he passed away a few days ago. It was very sad. I think that you do important work, as I think that all scam baiters do important work. And I want to see you continue. My advice would be to just try to be transparent with your audience as you can. So then he didn't message me back after that. And then a new GoFundMe had been started by him. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, Ray, some people have seen your new GoFundMe and are accusing you of trying to take advantage of your audience. There's a new video being made by other creators to point this out. However, I was able to convince them to give you an opportunity to defend yourself. Essentially, you would be, first off, I did not convince anybody. I was trying to get him to debate Limey. I wanted him to come on and defend himself. And if I, made it seem like Limey was, a little, I was being a little bit, cloak and dagger with it. I didn't want to flat out be like, Limey wants to debate your ass, so I had to sell him a little bit on it. Essentially, you would be defending yourself against one of the accusers. This is Limey, and I will act as a moderator. Ray, this is an opportunity for you to explain your perspective. I hope you will, because I feel like this will be damaging to your reputation. I will be a fair moderator and defend your points if they are proven valid. I think it's time that you tell people your side and confront the naysayers. If you can't advocate for yourself, Ray, I feel that I won't be able to either. So what do you think? So then this guy has a habit of going back to these victim mentalities. Sorry, I know Limey's waiting. I'm going to get him on here. Don't worry. I just want to go through all these real quick so that you guys can kind of see a little bit behind the scenes of what's going on, what you don't actually see on the live streams. He says, I was hospitalized 3 weeks ago with my throat condition causing my income to drop 90%. Understandable. He's a content creator. And that would probably also prevent you from being able to work. However, if you had a job at all up to this point, you probably would have been fine. I work a full-time job. Okay. My full-time job is not YouTube. I have a full-time job that I do, because you cannot count on YouTube to pay for everything, because some months they're slower than others. I also need to pay for my medication. It's very expensive. In the GoFundMe, I clearly state that I just want a little bit of help so that I can get my channel going. Again, at what point do you stop worrying about the fucking channel and start worrying about your health? And maybe be like, okay, maybe YouTube's going to have to wait until I can actually go get myself taken care of, right? It seems like he cares more about his channel than he does about his own health. I'm not marketing it to my audience. I merely mentioned it. It's benign marketed through a nonprofit organization based in my state. So it's either run the GoFundMe or quit YouTube altogether. Well, I'll tell you what, if I was on the verge of dealing with some serious mental shit or health shit, I probably would put my YouTube on hold to focus on my health stuff. And if that meant me going to get a job that I can guarantee money was coming in from, I'd probably do it. He says, if I was trying to only show, I'm reading his words too as an opportunity for him to defend himself as well. I'm not doing this to expose the guy, although he kind of does expose himself in a little bit. If I was trying to only show the GoFundMe to my audience, I would have a video announcing it. Isn't that funny? Because he does now have a video announcing it. I think this criticism is getting out of hand. I'm even being accused of abusing my cat Beethoven, and I'm not. Which, again, this is the whole reason that this got blown out of proportion. Some people in my community took it upon themselves to do something that I did not, first off, have any knowledge of, did not support in any way. And then once I found out about it, all that stuff had been removed and people were given warnings. Since I didn't have a clear no doxing rule in my Discord, which is going to be put in there now, I couldn't really ban anybody. Plus, they didn't flat out share his address. They were doing it secretly amongst themselves. I'm being as transparent as I can with you guys, okay? I don't want anything, any lies or anything. I have nothing to fucking hide. I want to be very clear with that, okay? I'm as transparent as it gets. Maybe I should just delete my channel and take care of myself instead. Yes, Ray, that probably would have been the move right there. And you said it yourself. Maybe I should just, You don't have to delete your channel, Ray. No one's telling you to delete your channel, but maybe take a step back from your channel to, you know, I don't know, take care of your health first. I say, Ray, understandable. I understand that, but defending yourself to me isn't going to help the situation. You need to explain it to the people who feel like you're taking advantage of your audience. Again, he's saying it to me as though I'm like the guy who's the judge here. I'm not. If he thinks I'm going to turn around and like do like a, oh, everybody needs to leave him alone, I'm not. Like I need flat out proof that, well, first off, again, I can't co-sign his decisions here. His decisions are to focus on his channel more than his health. I would never suggest that for anybody. He then says, I have no way of tracking or knowing who said what and when, so defending myself is pointless. People simply don't care. That's what it's about. I'm just going to ignore it. Well, Ray, you ignored it. Well, actually, you didn't ignore it, and I'll show you why. I will say that he has every right to be upset that someone, you know, interfered with his personal life. And again, I don't condone that at all. I wish that didn't happen, but you know, here we are. I got to talk about it because I'd rather it come from me, who's somebody who's involved in this, than come from some other random person. But no, defending yourself is always an option. Okay. My next video will be proof of that. Defending myself will only give them the oxygen to do more damage. Will it though? If I felt like I was being wronged, you better believe I would be everywhere talking about how I'm being fucked, right? I'm getting ready to go to the hospital at 6:45 a.m. in the morning for my surgery, so I will be lurking. Hey, Stephanie, it's good to see you. I hope that your surgery goes well tomorrow. Example, I said I needed money, but was going to have king crab. Yeah, Smith's had a special on king crab for $5. That's cheaper than McDonald's. Listen, I don't care that you had king crab legs. I realize that there's sales that go on. Posting a picture of it, though, while you're asking for money might not be the best idea during that time because king crab legs tend to be looked at as a luxury in life. Now, if you posted a picture of you eating ramen, I think that would have been a lot more powerful of a message, personally. You're very welcome, Stephanie. I really hope. Let us know next time I'm live how it goes. We'd all love to hear an update. See, these people are saying things without knowing the full story. Well, Ray, how are they supposed to know? All they do is see a guy that's asking for money eating king crab legs. Yeah, and by the way, apparently Smith's every once in a while has a special on crab legs for $5, so get on that. So I can care less if they appeared in my stream and said something derogatory. They will be banned. You're censoring people who are criticizing you, Ray. That's exactly what you're doing. It's ultimately your decision, Ray, but the offer's there. So I'm just basically saying you have an opportunity to come on my stream anytime you want and defend yourself. And I will be fair. I think I've been fair this whole time. Now, Limey's going to come in here. Limey's fucking pissed. All right, so, you know, I get it. You know, but I think that it's important for Modern Policy that just because Pecan passed away, that he's not just going to be like let off the leash and do whatever he wants. People are going to continue to watch him and make sure he's not fucking over people. And I wouldn't even say that. I mean, the fucking over people isn't starting a GoFundMe. Nobody has a problem with the GoFundMe. I think it's the amounts that the GoFundMe are for that people are getting upset with. He then says, so this last one came on March 19th. The nonprofit, it gets spicy, guys. Okay, hang on. The nonprofit org has asked me to make my YouTube video public so that I can promote the GoFundMe. The nonprofit org has asked me to make my YouTube video public. I don't know what nonprofit org he's worth or what, but it does seem weird that they'd be like, oh, make a YouTube video, make it public so we can get you some money. I don't want to hear anything about it from you. I am not marketing it to my audience in my live streams. The chat bot says this. Please share my GoFundMe link with friends and family. I have to do this or I will face dire consequences after being sick for 3 weeks and not being able to stream. On March 22nd, I'm getting an operation funded by the first GoFundMe I ran. All the money I raised plus money I had to add myself went to this operation. I'm not in any way, shape, or form scamming my viewers. It makes me sick. Your video makes it sound like that. Ray, your video started off, or your GoFundMe started at $1,600. By the end, it was at $16,000. Come on, Ray. How are people not supposed to see this and think of the way they are, think the way they do? So I received this one 1 day ago, and now I want to be very clear. I feel like he has a right to be upset because of some of the circumstances that happened regarding like people calling certain people on him in regards to his cat. Again, I had no clue that this happened until it was already too late. If I had gotten wind of it ahead of time, I would have probably intercepted it and said, no, please don't do that. But with that said, people do have authentic concerns involving the animal. And if you are somebody who is abusing alcohol, right, then your judgment can be skewed, and you wouldn't be the first person who, you know, maybe rough handled your animal a little bit harder than you should. I didn't see anything. I haven't seen the video. This is just what I've heard. This is all allegedly, okay? I'm not saying it one way or another. This is just the situation at hand. So the email he sent me yesterday was, I'm sick of this. You are part of the problem too. And then he says where he lives, and he says, really? You're doxing me? Tell your mods to lay off. And as far as your content, there's a reason you have few subscribers. You are not a creator. You use other people's content. Creep. I do when I stream. And it's called reacting. That's what most streamers do. They react to things. But, Ray, if you took 2 seconds to go look at the main channel, you would see that I do investigative reporting. I've done it with Pierogi. I mean, you even said yourself that you were a fan of my channel. So funny how that changed up so fast. You went from being a fan of what I've done to all of a sudden telling me that I'm a thief. Interesting. I just found that interesting to say the least. And now I was hesitant. Yeah, it escalated quite quickly. I was hesitant to even like do this stream tonight. I really was. If he had sent me like an apology, been like, "Listen, man, sorry, I got really upset with everything that happened. You know, let's let bygones be bygones." Like, I probably would have been like, "Listen, you know, I'm gonna give the guy a break or whatever, but I'll be happy to support you in however I can, Limey." But this is not how it went down. So this is another one. He must have been like really pissed off yesterday because he was spamming emails to me. This next one says, this is the last thread, by the way, and then I'm going to bring Limey on. They agree that a lot of what is being said is lies. I don't see how it could be lies when we clearly can see the GoFundMe and stuff. I'm disappointed Ray's agrees details were shared. Well, yeah, I want to be clear with that whole thing too. Nobody typed his flat out information in my Discord. I just saw them talking about it and said, no, guys, you can't be talking about that stuff in the Discord. Like, no. If you guys do that in your free time, that's what you guys do. But we can't allow shit like that going on here. And I've talked to everybody who was involved. All right. They all know that's not something that we do here. All right. That makes us no better than what happened with Pierogi. And I'm not okay with that. They even said you tried to, this is where it gets really funny. They even said you tried to blackmail them. I'm like, okay. So he says he was talking to one of my, okay. The title of the email was, I just had a chat with one of your moderators. I don't know which moderator he's talking to. Could it be somebody who was a moderator at one point and is no longer a moderator? Possibly. Either my moderators are lying to me or he's making this all up. Can't be lies when we have emails. Exactly, Gypsy. So then he said, they all agree that what's being said is lies. They even said you tried to blackmail them. I've never blackmailed anybody in my life. I don't have shit on anybody to blackmail them with. Nor would I ever do that and put my channel at risk to do anything like that. So this is where he gets really tough, guy. So look, I rescue victims. Millions of dollars returned over 8-year period. Even today, I reported 2 USA business bank accounts to the FBI, which will result in victims being rescued. Congratulations, Ray. That's awesome. I don't know why you felt the need to tell me that. You can be a scam baiter, saving people while also fucking over people. One doesn't mean that you don't do the other, okay? You could be somebody who sleeps with a lot of women, but then every once in a while you want to go sleep with a guy too. You know, it doesn't make you straight. Yeah, apparently he's saying I blackmail people, which I would love to. I would love to hear about this blackmail personally. Calling me a scammer, scamming my audience is an insult. I've been doing this since 2017. I'm not kidding. You are falling into a trap, believing in promoting lies about me. Ray, I don't promote lies about people. I look at what's in front of me, and then I make a distinction. There's a difference. It's not like I'm just blindly listening to random people come up to me and tell me shit about you, and then being like, oh, that's got to be true. I'm looking at things that are backing up what they're saying, and then I say something. What the fuck would EG blackmail us over? That's it. I'm not singing anymore until you guys do this. Oh, that's right. I do have Mr. T's feet pics too. And I threatened to release. Oh shit, I totally forgot about that. I will release Mr. T's feet pics if we do not get Limey on here within the next 10 minutes. Patiently waiting. He says, so please stop or I just might interview the moderator you tried to blackmail. See where that goes. Leave me the fuck alone, Ray. Now, when I told you guys I was picking a fight tonight, this is exactly what I meant. Because I could have left him alone. In fact, I would have left him alone if he didn't send me this shit. I felt horrible that people did that people like called somebody on the guy. I did. And I was like, all right, well, this is getting out of hand. I'm going to leave him alone. I'm not going to talk to him again. But then he decided to threaten me. So now I'm back in. You kind of pulled me back in, Ray. So I responded. I said, Ray, I said, Ray, I'd love for you to interview this moderator. I tried to blackmail. By the way, I didn't dox shit. The second I found out that someone knew your address, I made an announcement saying anyone who does anything like that will be immediately banned. I've been incredibly fair to you, Ray, but if you're going to start hurling insults and threats at me because of someone I have nothing to do with, and you want to go down this road, we can. You tried to take advantage of your audience. That tends to piss off people who've supported you for a long time. To be honest, I didn't even want to cover you because I have a much larger story on my plate, which I do. And you guys will see it hopefully this weekend if I get it done in time. But there's a massive story. Like, I cared about this for Pecan. It's the only reason I'm still covering him. Pecan, Limey, Fungi, all you guys. I'm doing this for you guys. Mainly for Pecan, no, because he's not here to do it for himself. Same reason I'm sure Limey, same reason I'm sure Fungi's doing it, right? We're doing it to carry on Pecan's work. But I have a much, much bigger story with a much, much larger creator that I'm working very, very hard on, and I keep getting distracted by freaking Modder Paul. I said, I'm not responsible for what your former followers do. The only control I have is to make sure it doesn't happen in my community. I suggest questioning this mod I supposedly blackmailed because I'd love to hear this. I'd love to hear this story as much as anyone. Sounds like someone is just trying to juice you up and you're falling for it. Do better, Ray. And then I told him, I said, keep in mind, like, and then I had the idea that maybe like this is some people from the pierogi situation trying to like, you know, start some shit. So I said, keep in mind, Ray, I pissed off a lot of people with my defensive pierogi. So if I were you, I'd try to get some proof of things you're accusing me of before making threats. For all you know, this is just a group of random people trying to entertain themselves. I have absolutely nothing to hide, Ray. I will gladly send you the conversations I had about this stuff for you to see. And I would. If I would have sent him everything I had and every conversation I've ever had with anybody about him. We've all been pretty fair. At the end of the day, people want what's best for Ray. They don't want to see the guy hurt. They don't want to see the guy lose his channel. They just want to see the guy be a little bit more ethical in some shit and maybe get a job, which he did say he had a job interview on his stream the other day. So I don't know if he got it or what, but I thought that was a step in the right direction. And that's all the more reason why I was like, okay, I'm backing off this guy. But then he sent me this shit and then he pulled me right back in. I do drama, Ray. This is what I do. Okay? You're in my fucking world now, son. All right, we're not scam baiting here. We're talking about drama. I live in this fucking universe. I've been on fucking LolCal Live. If you don't think I can handle your ass, Ray, you're crazy. All right. I just wanted to be very clear. And yes, Pierogi is sober now. Over 1 year. Congratulations to him. These clips of me were cherry picked and are unfair. I've been on YouTube. Now, the only way I could think this could apply is maybe his ex stuff. But in those ex clips, he did flat out say that he was calling girls ugly and shit like that, which, don't get me wrong, everybody trolls on X. Go on my X right now. You're going to see me trolling people. All right. It's just what we do. But you'll never see me just flat out be like, you an ugly bitch. I don't do that. He said, I got sick. I could not stream. I needed help. So I started a fundraiser and got shit thrown at me for it. Holy crap. Again, Ray, nobody's pissed at you because you started a GoFundMe. They're pissed at you because you continued to raise the price of the GoFundMe to an obscene amount. He says, holy crap. Again, I have no problem with you, but understand I am one of the most successful Hawala bank reporting scam baiters out there. Scammer Payback will back me up on that. I'm a good friend of his, so leave me alone, please. So he's like kind of like being like, Pierogi's going to get you, or Pierogi's going to be mad at you if you do this, which I don't think. I always told Pierogi, like from day one, that like if the story goes south on him, I'm going to be honest with it. But, you know, he's always been transparent with me. Never, as far as I can tell, the guy's always been super transparent with me. Never lied about shit. So I've always been super supportive of him. He's never tried to manipulate me in any way. He's always been very transparent with any information that I've needed or anything like that. And as far as I'm concerned, he's innocent. He's an innocent fucking guy who was getting railroaded. I don't feel like this is the same situation here, though, Paul. And I'm not. And just because you threaten me with Pierogi doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing this. Okay. Now I have a complete love and respect for Pierogi, but if you were Pierogi's best friend and you were doing some shady shit, I'm still going to call you out for it. It's called being like an ethical reporter. So then I just said, Ray, did you start 2 new GoFundMes? I also don't take lightly to being threatened. And that was where we left off today. So that was the whole email shebang. Okay. There's something I want to show you guys, but I can't show you here. But let me get Limey on here real quick. I'm going to get Limey. He's been patiently waiting to come on here, and he's got some stuff to add himself. So let me see if this works, if I can drag him up here. Limey, can you try and see if you can unmute? If you can't unmute, I'll just come down there. But
Hello?
You there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Let me see. Did I just shut down YouTube? I just want to be able to see you guys. Maybe it's a little bit behind, but I'm here. Okay. All right.
All right. So, tell me a little bit about what you got going on here.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we all know what's been going on. You just gone and spelled it out extremely well with your communications with Ray. I'm just here because Pecan started something that needs to be finished.
And I wouldn't even say that it's like something that needs to be like finished. It's something that just needs to be watched. Like we're not trying to end Ray's career, you know? Like we're just trying
to we're not trying to we're not talking about that. But what I'm talking about is something that really fired me up was that video footage. I think I shared it with you where Ray came on and essentially said, now that a certain YouTuber is gone, I'm back. And
he said that?
Yeah.
See, I haven't watched.
I think I sent you. Didn't I send you that footage? The actual wording of it. Yeah. If you could play that. But that's what really got me upset, and also members of the community that also saw it. Let me see. Why am I not here?
Yeah, if you can send that to me, that'd be awesome. Let me try.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I sent it. But yeah, we saw that, and it was like, no way, because he had taken down his GoFundMe's and gone quiet for a while, and after the passing of Pecan, all of a sudden we saw it pop up and heard the comment, and then we now, in actual fact, he has 2 GoFundMe showing, one for $1,000 and one for $2,000.
One for $1,000 and one for $2,000.
One for $1,000 and one for $2,000. Right. Let me see here if I can send you. I know I sent it. I can share.
I did get one from
the video. Is that the one? I think it's this one.
Is this the one that says GoFundMe campaign?
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, yeah, I have this. Actually, I think I have this one. Let me
forward and send. Yeah, here you go. So this was very upsetting to hear this.
Let me I think I could pull this up and share it with you real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm doing. All right, here. Dude, every time my brain's working at half speed today, guys, so bear with us here. So share this.
You're well ahead of me then.
You're like on quarter speed at the moment?
Oh, yeah. I'm on idle.
I feel that, man. I feel that.
Yeah.
All right, let me try to pull this up here. Onto the stream. Any day now. How was work? Why did you have a good day at work?
Yeah. Well, we got stuff accomplished. I'm in the middle of trying to write a review for myself. They got us writing reviews for ourselves this year, and
like what? Like performance reviews?
Yeah, exactly.
I would be like, I'm the greatest employee of all time, and I don't care.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that they appreciate that.
They want you to be like, well, I can work on stuff here. They always want to hear you say you're going to improve, I bet.
Oh yeah. That's just the tough part. How do I improve on perfection? I mean,
it's not easy to do, man. You're right. It's not easy.
I'm giving you all I got, Captain.
I'm giving it all I got. All right. So this is the video here. Do you got that up on your end? I shared my screen with you. Should be. There's no audio to this, so.
Yeah, I'm watching YouTube on the computer and talking to you on my phone, so I can see what you're showing.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so this is it. It's just
my name is Raymond, also known as Mater Paul
There's audio.
Scambates.
Yeah.
I'm reaching out for
there
urgent
is audio.
support due to a recent medical emergency
that's not the one.
impacted
That's not the one. I
my ability to
just
work.
sent it to you.
Recently,
I just sent you the one that's the video.
Okay, well, how about we take a look? This one was posted 21 hours ago. Let's take a look at this one first, and then we'll look at yours.
Okay, that's his new video. That's his new video. Yep.
All right, we'll work backwards.
Hello, my name is Raymond, also known as Mater Paul Scambates. I'm reaching out for urgent support due to a recent medical emergency.
This one does have audio. Are you not getting any audio?
Work. Recently, I experienced a severe choking incident that led to anxiety attacks, landing me in the emergency room. This has prevented me from live streaming on YouTube for the past 3 weeks, which is my primary source of income. Now, I'm facing a serious financial crisis. I urgently need $2,000 to cover essential expenses like rent, food, medication, and support while I work to get my YouTube channel back on track. Every
it's
dollar
always the
truly
YouTube
makes
channel.
a difference.
That's all I cares about.
If you can help, please consider donating through GoFundMe, Cash App at Raytex$70, or Venmo at @Raymond70. Sharing this message would also mean the world to me. Thank you for your kindness and generosity during this difficult time. Your support is deeply appreciated.
I wonder why he doesn't just come on and do his own videos.
Yeah, why wouldn't he just, like, if I were him and I desperately needed money, I would come on and be like, yeah, EG, get your audience to start spilling some cash for me, sucker. Like, I'd come on here and be like, yeah, can you guys give me some money? I needs it bad. All right, so that was the one that was sent to me.
That was the most recent video. Yeah, that was the $2,000 one.
All right, so is the other one on his? Is the other one on his? It's unlisted.
I send it.
So that one was unlisted. I will say that. All right, I want to be transparent with y'all. Wow, he used to get some pretty good views, huh? 8 years ago, he had a video that did 221K, and 5 years ago, he had a video that did 208K, but it's been a steady decline. A video a year ago for him did 60K. Why don't you get back to doing that, Paul? But his best of series is not doing great. Now listen, all right, I'll be the first to admit, my channel is not doing as well as his. But again, I've been only taking this seriously for just over a year now. So of course I'm not going to have the success he does. But
here's the thing, EG. You currently are pulling more viewers than he is.
Well, wait until my next video drops. I know you guys don't know the person I'm going to be talking about in it, but he's a big deal to me. He's like probably like somebody who I'd consider like a mentor. But I'm not going to say anything more about it. All right, but I already just gave it away a little bit to anybody who was a regular on my channel. But he's being wronged pretty bad. So I'm working super hard on this video. So it looks like the other one's not listed. Do you have the link for that?
The other link, yeah.
All right, let me get.
So now, you just showed the video? You didn't show the GoFundMe link, right? You just showed the video.
No, I have not showed the GoFundMe link yet. Let me pull that.
Okay. I got to try and send you both. I thought I already did.
You might have.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both there. If you scrolled up, I believe it was today, 8/31. It's the GoFundMe.
Okay, I see them here.
That was the one that that's the one he first posted after he came back.
And now again, I just want to be very clear. I don't have an issue with people doing GoFundMes. However,
no.
Mr. Paul here, you just had you just had this whole thing drop out, like a whole crash out of your channel regarding a GoFundMe type scandal that people thought made you look really bad. Do you think the best move is to immediately create another GoFundMe, or should you have waited a little bit to let that die down before you tried this again? This is the only reason we're even talking about it. By the way, one of the emails that he sent me that I didn't even read, he said, I have a GoFundMe I'm starting. I don't want to hear shit about it. Like, almost like demanding me not to talk about it, which kind of made me want to talk about it more, if I'm being honest. Like, the sheer balls on this guy to like threat, like to tell me what I can and cannot talk about on my YouTube channel. You still there, Limey?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job, by the way. I know you said you
I'm
were
here.
nervous, but you're doing a good. We all can't be PK.
Sorry, I wish I had more time to prepare, but I've been working all day, and this was kind of an impromptu.
Hey, no worries, man. No worries. All right.
I did just send you what I believe is the latest was the $1,000, his first one. And here's the thing, like you said, everything that happened to him as far as with Pecan and all, and the pressure that was put on him to be honest with his with the community, he took down the $16,000 GoFundMe, and then he kind of went quiet for a short time. After Pecan's passing, he came back, and then he made the statement.
A really short time after Pecan's passing.
Pecan
only died, only 2 weeks ago?
Exactly. And all of a sudden he comes back and starts talking about, well, now that Pecan's, now that there's not going to be any trolling, and the trolls are gone, and a certain YouTuber is no longer with us, he's getting back to it. And then
I can't believe he said that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I sent you that little
we'll
video
take a look at that.
Portion.
I'd love to see how the context changes that one, Mr. Paul. So what's this one I'm looking at here? So
this was his initial. This is the history on the initial GoFundMe that he cashed out. What you see is the $1,600 that he initially put, because he said it was going to cost him $2,700, I think it was. $2,700 was how much the operation cost. But if he was to raise $1,600, then he can go ahead and get the operation, and then he can pay the remaining as money was to come in. So he could pay the 16, get the operation, get relief, and then continue, paying as money came. But you can see on January the 13th, it was $1,600.
Yeah.
January the 15th, he upped it to $5,000.
Wow.
And then he decided, I'm going to drop it back down to the $2,600.
I see that January 15th.
Yeah. January 17th, he raised it to $6,500.
That's a jump.
January 18th to $8,000. And then January the 23rd, he went to $30,000 and decided, I better drop it down to $10,000. So he left it at $10,000.
I'll tell you what, that jump from January 18th to the 23rd is massive. Why $30,000? What do you need, a Tesla, Mr. Paul?
Yeah, right.
So this is literally like this is like, I don't know what lie we're telling here, Ray. We're literally looking at your date set. I would need to hear from you a good reason why you need $30,000 on a GoFundMe that started off at $1,600. And if you look at the top, it says, I want to thank everyone who graciously donated to my campaign so far. $2,911 raised out of the $8,500 need minimum. All right, so if you need $8,500 minimum, then why do you have $30,000 there? This is why people are upset. I don't understand how you're not getting this. Why people might look at this and feel like, wow, this guy's kind of being a little sus. I'm again, even after you threaten me, I'm still trying to be fair to you, Ray. Like, I don't get it. I don't it just doesn't make sense.
Now, Easy. He's gonna turn around. He's gonna tell you, well, that's not just for my throat operation. He's gonna say, no, it was $2,700 for my throat operation, $2,500 for the throat operation. But I have this hernia too. Now, when this all started, his initial thing was, I went 4 years ago to a doctor, okay, and to have a throat dilation, and they said that I had throat ulcers, all right? He then turned around and said he needed to have an operation on the ulcers in his throat. He was also going to need a throat dilation.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he had x-rays on the ulcers in his throat. Well, I don't know how you x-ray an ulcer exactly, but he said he had x-rays on the ulcer. He was focused on the ulcers, not on this dysphagia, which dysphagia is, it's a serious problem. However, you know, if you treat the symptoms, which the symptoms and the cause a lot of times of it is acid reflux, and he said that he's got acid reflux. Well, you can certainly manage it.
Yeah, my daughter has that.
Yeah, by taking acid blockers and then taking something like Gaviscon to help reduce the acidity at nighttime, and you take it at nighttime. Anyway, I went through this. I had it. When I first came to the States, I was running combine harvesters. We'd run 24, 36 hours. I was taking no-dose. I was drinking coffee and tea and everything, and I had the worst acid reflux, and then something called a hiatal hernia, which is the sphincter between the stomach and the esophagus that was basically burnt from the acid and not closing fully. So I was getting terrible acid reflux, and I had ulcers. It took about 3 weeks to go ahead with the acid blockers, the change of diet, and Gaviscon and everything. I was able to get it treated, and it went away. But during that time, it was so painful that drinking water or anything, just swallowing my spit, it hurt so bad. It was horrible. It really was. And I see Ray saying that 4 years ago he went and he had these ulcers diagnosed. So when he starts talking about all these ulcers, we're all thinking, oh my gosh, this is terrible. He's got these ulcers.
Yeah.
He needs to take care of them, right? Well, then he starts talking about throat dilation. If somebody has ulcers, which is basically raw, open flesh in your esophagus,
which wouldn't be pleasant,
they're not going to do a throat dilation. In actual, you can look it up yourself online. They wouldn't do a throat dilation because basically you're stretching the skin, you're stretching everything. Could you imagine the pain of having an ulcer just ripped apart?
Yeah, that would not
by
be
a
fun.
throat dilation. It would be dramatic. It would be horrible. You do so much damage.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Down the road a little bit later, he kind of went away from the ulcers. In actual fact, to the point where he, on one of his streams, and I have this somewhere, on one of his streams, and people have seen it, where he turned around and said that they may not even operate on the ulcers. They may not even do anything with the ulcers because they're not that bad.
So he's saying, he's essentially doesn't even know if he's going to need an operation, but he needs money for it.
He doesn't even know. He said that they're not that bad, and it could, and he said they may just feel worse than they are.
It's giving Boogie 2988 fake cancer. It's giving, like, Boogie came out, and if you guys don't know who Boogie 2988 is, he came out and told the internet that he had cancer before he even knew if he really did. and was already like prepping his GoFundMe's and stuff. And luckily for Boogie, it turned out that he didn't actually have it. But anybody who actually has cancer, and I think that this is something that I'm noticing with you guys that are very passionate about this, is that you've all dealt with real medical issues that you've persevered through, and you're taking exception with the fact that this guy's basically putting it on his audience to handle instead of him being kind of an adult about it. And, you know, again, my biggest issue here is that every time he's always saying my channel. It's like my channel needs this, my channel. Well, what about you, Ray? What do you need? Like, can you not work an 8-hour shift and then stream? But I think that a lot of these people who've been able to live off of YouTube for a few years get really comfortable being able to be their own boss, and that's not something they want to give up very easily.
You're right. And here's another thing. Recently, he keeps on talking about his income. The fact, like he said in his latest, that I had to take 3 weeks off of work. I had to take 3 weeks off of baiting due to another episode where he had to go to hospital. He said he had anxiety from the episode, which prevented him from working for 3 weeks, and it severely impacted his income from his streaming. Here's the thing. He has so few viewers anymore and donators. His big donators have left him.
Yeah.
That his income is minimal. So what he's doing, instead of being honest and saying, I'm not making any money doing YouTube anymore because I'm a thing of the past, he's turning around and saying, oh, my medical situation is causing me to lose money on YouTube. That's not the fact. That's not the case. He's done this to himself. He's driven away his viewers to the point where now there is no real income coming from his stream. So he's had to reach out to the community. Now,
Nihilator has a good point. He says half of his viewers are lurkers who are usually watching just to...
Exactly. Yeah. That's us. He doesn't even know we're there, right? So most of the viewers that are there are actually us. So
he bans anybody. He bans anybody who would actually probably help him. Like, here's the problem, Ray. You always ban people who say anything in your chat, but what you're doing is you're denying your channel engagement, whether or not they are trolling or not. You're denying them engagement on your channel, which is then having YouTube suppress your channel because you're not getting engagement. So you're hurting yourself by not allowing people to speak. Not only that, but you're also censoring criticism, which is one thing if somebody's coming into your chat and being like, F you're ugly or something. But if people are just coming on being like, what's up with the GoFundMe, and you're muting them for it, you know, I've seen him mute people for saying, wow, he's got sponsors, he must be making good money, and then he mutes them. It's like, come on, dude, you know?
Hey, can I also bring up another point here? Yeah. And this is, I do not have any evidence, but I have been informed. And logically, you would expect this. He closed down that first GoFundMe that ended up in $10,000. He closed that one down. And I think I sent you a screenshot of how much he actually had in there at the time. It was, when he closed it down, he had $2,956 from 37 donations. He stated to you, I believe in the email, that he is going in for his operation, his procedure, And it's being paid for by the money that was donated in the first GoFundMe. So he also said that he has had to add money to that in order to cover the cost. Well, the operation was a $2,700 operation or procedure, yet he got $2,956 from just the GoFundMe. Now, he was also raising money on PayPal. He was raising money, requesting money on Venmo. He was pushing for Venmo contributions on LinkedIn, as well as on his GoFundMe. He was sending out emails and communications personally through emails and to people, asking them for money, donations, or loans. A lot of the ones he was sending out were loans, requesting loans.
Is he requesting loans from followers?
From members of the community and followers, I believe. I don't know how he was getting their information, but he was reaching out personally via emails on through Facebook and in different ways, reaching personally out to them.
I did, fun guy.
Yeah. So I know that he received $800.
Yeah, I mean these GoFundMes look like he's not making nothing from them. It makes sense that he keeps doing it. And here's another thing that bothers me, right? Is what's one of the things that he loves to say? He loves to say that I saved all these people millions of dollars, almost like he's entitled to that money. You know who thinks like that, Paul? A scammer. That's who
exactly.
thinks. That's who thinks like that. Oh well, I've saved all these people all millions of dollars. Which, by the way, turning in bank accounts and stuff is good, but if people have already lost money, it's not like they're going to get that money returned to them. That money's still gone.
Right. Now it's funny you should bring this up, because this brings us to another issue, and that is the fact that he made a statement that he went ahead and saved. He went and reported two scammers to the FBI and said that will result in the saving of victims, I think, or saving of. I guess the saving of victims. I can't remember the exact wording that you use.
He does love saying he saves victims, or
Yeah, he says he saves victims, but there are members of the community, the scamming community, that report numbers through the same source, through the same method as he reports numbers, through the same person, and they have requested evidence that what they're doing is effective, that they are getting results. But as of yet, there has never been any evidence come back that the reported information has gone through the channels and provided any results. Now, we keep giving, the community keeps baiting and turning information in, and there are channels. Anybody can actually report a scammer through channels. There's ways to do it. But we have never seen any evidence of the fact that anything actually happened. So for him to turn around and say that he has returned $8 million, I believe. Where is he getting that information from?
That's a good point. Yeah, like, is that like, are you just making an estimate that that's the amount of money you would have saved?
Exactly. And how are you, no, he says he returned.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense because not even Pierogi returns this money, except Pierogi has like much better equipment. So sometimes he can stop the wire transfer.
Right.
But I don't see Ray.
Trilogy too. Trilogy posts video when they do big saves, and they let us know, when they are able to return the money. But I don't think Trilogy has probably returned $8 million in the last few years.
Yeah, and I saw that Trilogy actually gave him a lot of shit for some of the comments he made regarding California too.
Yeah, well, guess what? That all turned around and came knocking on my door. I mean, I was personally affected, and friends of mine were affected by what happened here in California.
Yeah.
So yeah, that hit home, and then when he turned around and made the comment he did, that that he doesn't care about the California. He doesn't care about that. That's not what was causing his anxiety. It's not California. He doesn't care about it. That hit home, and yeah, sure, Trilogy, being based in that area and probably having friends and family or neighbors that are in that area, yeah, of course they would be affected and not like it. But he is requesting that we help him to cover his costs while he builds his YouTube channel.
Yeah. That's really the nuts and bolts of it right there, period. Like, well, you can end the sentence right there, period. Like, it's done. Like, he's please help me while I become a YouTube star.
Exactly. And he has zero right. None of us have any right to expect others to cover our bills while we sit around and do nothing.
Yeah. We all got to go to work. Why should I give you my paycheck? Like part of my paycheck when you're chilling. Yeah, you're offering a service, but you shouldn't be doing that looking for handouts. You do that because it's the right thing to do. That's why when I talked about Pecan passing away, like that's why I got emotional about it, because that guy didn't ask for shit. He was just doing it because it was the right thing to do.
Yep.
And he had the balls to stand up to. He had the balls to point this out too, which couldn't have been easy to to call out another person in your community.
Right. So here's what we have. We have a person that at one point was a pillar in the community. At one point, he had respect. And he's actually been a mentor to people in the past. And what he's doing right now is capitalizing on his former glory as it's faded away. And he has become no more than what he claims to be fighting, that he dislikes. Now, you've got all kinds of scamming. You got your tech scammers and everything, and then of course you got your romance scammers.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's going to be doing that anytime soon with that red rash on his neck.
No, yeah.
Although that banana hat really does. It brings out his eyes.
It distracts from the rash. The banana it helps distract from the rash. But what he is doing currently is no more than what the scammers do. And what they do, and it's funny that just recently he's even portrayed more scammer characteristics. So what he did was he came in saying, I am Mother Paul, the great Mother Paul. I have saved $8 million or returned $8 million. I save victims. I do this. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Twitch channel and everything, and I am glorious. Okay, right. You were. At one point, you were somebody. But now, okay, your former glory is now behind you.
Yeah.
And what he's doing is he's coming in here now, and he's trying to benefit from that former glory and his and history, and he's telling his community, just like he's banking on the relationship that he has with his viewers. He's banking on the relationship he has with a community. Yep. Because he's part of that community. And what he's doing is just like a scammer, they build a relationship.
Carol subscribes to EG
and then they start requesting payback from the victims, from the community, from the relationship. It could be, I've got these problems. I'm stuck. My family needs help. My kid needs braces. I'm stuck in Dubai with $1 million of diamonds that I need to get out, and I need your help to get them out. And when I get them out, I will pay you back. And that's exactly what he's doing in his emails. He's turning around and saying, I have, one of the communications was, I need, I think it was like $650, but I can pay you back tomorrow because I have thousands of dollars
in YouTube.
BitLocker.
Yo, this sounds like, I was a drug addict for like 15 years from like my early 20s to like my early 30s. And that's exactly the same type of shit that they would say to me to get me to give them money to go get shit. Like it's
you're right. They'll say anything they need to get it.
Yeah. And it sounds like, I really think he's got an alcohol problem. I mean, I know it's allegedly, but it does seem like this could be a serious.
It's not allegedly. We've all witnessed. Many of us, I can't say we all. Many of us have witnessed it online.
Wow.
When he's ranted and raved and made an absolute fool of himself in front of all of his viewers, to where followers are telling him, hey, Ray, you need to stop this. And he just continues on. So there's clearly a problem.
Yeah.
And he's feeding his addiction to that. And now he's also got an addiction to being a somebody. He wants to remain relevant within the community. But the community are being asked to pay for that.
Yeah, you could tell that with the amount of times he tries to name drop people. I feel bad for Pierogi that he keeps like telling everybody how close of friends he is with them, because that's not going to look good on him. And
you don't see him name dropping Trilogy much anymore, do you?
No. Yeah.
No.
And that's because they called him out for the California thing. Yeah.
The California thing, and I think they're probably trying to separate themselves from what is now, happening in the community. Good night, Fungi.
See you later, Fungi.
So here's what happens with the romance scams. What you do is you turn around, you build that relationship, and then you go ahead and you start off low. You start off with $1,600, right? I need $1,600. No, I need $2,500. Really, I need $2,500. And then what you do is you gradually go, oh yeah, but then I've got these other problems. I've got a belly button problem, right? And here's the thing about that belly button. I have a belly button hernia myself. I do. And it was, mine came because when I was a little one, this is like TMI, I know for most of you, but when I was little, my mother tells me I was yelling and screaming so much that the little clip came off, and they had to reclip it. And anyway, I ended up with a little belly button, So that's beside the point. Here's the thing. It only results, a hernia, it's called a umbilical hernia, only results in an issue 4% of the time. That's 4% chance that he could get a problem with that hernia as he gets, and he's probably had it for years. He may have had it from birth, from when he was young. He may have had it all this time.
Yeah.
And he just lived with it. And you do. It's not an issue. What, 96% of the time, it's not even a problem, right? His is, he claimed it's 3 centimeters. It's not that big. I mean, I've got a neighbor who has probably, when he's got his t-shirt on, it literally looks like he's got a fanny pack under his shirt. It's got that much of a hernia. And he goes to work every day, does his job, and getting ready to retire pretty soon. But he lives with that. It's not a problem. Okay.
Has he ever considered starting a YouTube and trying to just live off his audience?
Yeah, I'll suggest that to him.
Yeah,
let him know.
To say, go fund yourself.
Go. I said fund.
Yeah, go fund yourself.
So what they do is, like I said, they just start upping it. They start increasing. A scammer will start increasing the amount of money that they're requesting, new situations, new issues that they need something for. Okay. Ray reached out to a member of the community saying, hey, I'm going to start a job and I need, I don't know what it was. It was like about $500 or so. I need $500 to purchase something for my job, and I'll pay you back tomorrow. Well, why don't you wait till tomorrow to purchase it, and then don't go begging and lowering yourself to have to beg somebody?
I'll tell you why. Because he's going to get the money, and then he's just going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have to wait to give you that. It's a tales all this time. Yeah, I got you tomorrow. All right, yeah. Tomorrow comes. Hey, you got me? Oh, yeah, man, it's probably going to have to be tomorrow. Oh, and then after that, oh, yeah, you know what, man, like 2 days tops because, such and such happened. And it's the tales all this time, man. This is why I don't give money to my friends, because I've lost so many friendships from people taking money from me and just never giving it back, or playing what's that old Bronx Tale thing where the guy's like, that guy owes me $20. He goes, look at it like this. You paid that guy $20 to get that guy out of your life. Like, you got a deal, and sometimes it costs more, I guess.
I think I'd pay $20 to get this problem out of it.
Yeah. But not physically, YouTube. Not physically. We're not suggesting anything like that.
No.
I want to make it very clear. I don't want anybody going and harassing Ray or anything like that. That's not what we want to do here. Okay, I just want to make that clear.
No.
We're simply pointing out this so that people can make if you want to still donate to him, at least you're informed. And if you think that he desperately needs this, and by all means, we're not telling you not to do it, but at least this way you have context that apparently we're lying about. But listen, Modern Paul, if you were being so wrong, then why is there so many people all with the same story about you? Like, that's what I don't get.
Yeah.
Like, if it was 1 or 2 people who came to me, I probably wouldn't have paid any attention to it. But this is a whole chat full of people who all have different stories. Like, it's like insane to me, like, that you could ignore this and still say, no, I'm just being railroaded. By who? Everyone, dude? Like, at some point, you got to look in the mirror and be like, okay, I probably did something to put myself in this position,
Right. And the $800, the money, the 500 or whatever it was, the money that he was given for the item, which was actually for his job. He never got the job. He never took the job. So where did all the money go?
Yeah,
I
saw him saying the other day on a stream that he had to get off because he had an interview, and I was like, oh, good for him. He's like, he's finally doing something right. And then and then now it's like, okay, well, what happened with that interview? Like now, I guess you either denied the job or you didn't have an interview at all, and you're trying to sell people on something so that you could try to. Like, you're not. I think Modern Paul suffers from thinking he's the smartest guy in the room a lot of the time, and then it just turns out that he's probably like not the smartest guy in the room. Plus, you resorted to threatening me, dude. What the fuck is that? Like, what was that about? Yeah. You threat. I still want to hear this blackmail story, please. I beg you. I want to hear the interview from whoever this is that you talk to. I'm dying to know because I know that it's going to be a good story. Because I know I got my shit's clean, dude. Like when I first started my YouTube channel, the first thing I did on the first day is come out and talk about my history, like with drugs, so that nowhere down the line, if I ever got myself wrapped up in a drama, people couldn't be like, "Oh yeah, well he was a drug addict for a bunch of years." I'm over 4 years clean, never been happier. You know, look at Pierogi. He's never been better. Over a year without the sauce, like it's a. You know, it's a good way of living, dude. And if you are suffering from that, I highly suggest. And most places in the U.S. will pay for your rehab stint. And guess what? While you're there, you get free medical care. It's like maybe look into that, and maybe you can redeem your glory. I don't know though. It might feel like you're. First off, too, like, you're not the first person, Ray, who's been popular on YouTube and then no longer are popular. It happens to a lot of content creators. One of my friends, Tipster, was one of the biggest commentators on the internet. And I think I have more people in my chat than him now. And he was massive. That's over 200,000 subscribers. And he hardly has anybody in his chat anymore. Just from, I'm not 100% sure on why he lost a lot of followers, but I think a lot of it had to do with politics. But it happens to a lot of people, dude. But you know what I don't see Tipster doing? He's not desperately begging for money. You know what he did? He went out and he got a job. Now he works full time and still does YouTube for fun. Yeah. So even dudes that are still crushing it on YouTube, still like there's a guy named Nicholas Diorio who is probably one of the biggest commentators in drama right now. He works a full-time job and he makes thousands of dollars every stream. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to get a job, but guess what? He still does it because he knows that any minute the well could dry up. But for some reason, Modern Paul feels like he's gonna somehow manage to still be Pierogi one day. You know what I think it is? Like you go to these people's call centers, you see what Pierogi has, and you go, I need to get this myself. But the difference is Pierogi, one, is like a charismatic guy. Two, he was young enough to be able to do it and like have that that drive for it. Secondly, you don't see Pierogi going on X like telling girls they're ugly and shit. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's a business just as much as it is a entertainment thing. And the minute you start treating it like it's playtime, you're never gonna like Pierogi from day one treated this like a business. Still does. That's why he got what he has. And he doesn't do this shit, I
was just thinking, do you see the irony in that message to you about the blackmail? The fact that you blackmail, he's going to, if you continue, he's going to expose the
supposed blackmail.
That
sounds awfully scammy to me. It sounds awfully scammy to me.
Well, he's blackmailing you with releasing information about a blackmail,
which never happened. So I'm excited.
Never happened.
I'm more excited to hear it than anyone.
Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Yeah. So right now, what happened is he realized, and the pressure was on him from Pecan and the community, and he backed off. Ray backed off for a short time, right? Now, if he was, this was a funny. He came back. Well, he came back actually after he cashed out the money. Now, here's the thing. Not only did he cash out the nearly $3,000 that was in the GoFundMe, there's zero transparency on the money that he cashed out from PayPal, the money that he cashed from Venmo, the money that he took from Cash App. There's zero transparency. We have no knowledge of any of that. Now, you can be pretty certain with all of the sources, all of the places that he was pushing this on Facebook and everything, and not just on GoFundMe. He even had a website that had links on it that you didn't have to use Cash App or PayPal. You could use your credit card. You could go to his website, click on $5, $10, $15, $20, $50, $100 and donate with a credit card. You could do it that way. There were so many multiple places that you could give him money where there was zero transparency. We have no idea. So we do know that this operation that he is supposed to have, tomorrow, was certainly paid for by the money that was from the GoFundMe, and that was visible. Yeah, that's a hickey and a half, ain't it?
Right. I was gonna see how long I could sit here circling this till someone. I was trying to wait to see if chat noticed. Is this the video where he talks about Pecan?
Yeah.
I want to play this. I want to play this real quick.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one, right? Yeah, that's the video, right? That's the one. Go ahead, play it. You want
it? Hang on. Why is it not got a? It's got no audio. I don't got no audio. Oh, wait. No, it should have audio. Hang on.
It should. Yeah.
I'm going to have to download it real quick.
I want to focus on scam baiting purely, only because we're getting a lot of trolls lately. I don't know if we're going to get trolls anymore because a certain YouTuber is no longer around. But,
what? Oh, you fucking asshole. You fucking asshole. What a shitty thing to say. What a shitty thing to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to play it. I want to play it again real quick for anybody who didn't hear it.
I want to focus on scam baiting purely, only because we're getting a lot of trolls lately. I don't know if we're going to get trolls anymore because a certain YouTuber is no longer around, but
what a fucking jackass.
And here's the thing, EG, one thing I want to say, and I want to make it clear to the community, and that is, he thinks that just because Pecan is gone, that it's over.
Oh, it's just getting started, big guy.
You know what a Hydra is, right? A Hydra, you cut off one head.
Two more grow in its place. Two more
sprout. Yeah.
Oh, if I had seen this, even if he had emailed me an apology, I'd be like, dude, no.
No.
He looks like he's thrilled. He looks like he's thrilled that Pecan's
he's smirking.
Yeah.
He's smirking.
He died. It's done. That's what I feel like. In his head, he's like, haha, he died. Like, you fucking loser. I'm not even being fair anymore. You are a fucking loser for saying something like that. about a man who died from like it's not like he asked for that. Paul, do you realize this?
Nope.
It was a medical thing. Mister, I need money for medical conditions. You really gonna sit here and kind of smirk about someone dying from a medical condition? You piece of fucking shit. Don't email me anymore, dude. I don't even want to read them. You're worse than some scammers, I think. Like, that is pathetic. I realized that he was a pain in your ass, but you could still do that and go, you know, the classy thing would have been, listen, you know, I realized that we didn't always see eye to eye, but with that said, I feel my heart goes out to his family. You know, I apologize for any misunderstandings we may have had. I hope that, you know, he can go, you know, I'll try to make sure that, you know, I don't do anything that would have upset him or anything like that. Instead, he kind of makes a joke about it.
Yep. And you know what's worse than a scammer? It's when somebody that knows better, that is supposed to be fighting the fight against scammers, turns around and starts scamming their own community. It's like somebody scamming your own. It's like scamming your own family.
And he knows all the he knows all the tricks in the trade too.
And he in his, if you look at one of the in the GoFundMe's, it states in there that he social engineers scammers to get information and get what he wants out of them. He tells us boldly how he social engineers. Well, that's exactly what he's doing here. It's what all scammers do. That's what they do. They social engineer. And we, the scam baiting community, the scam baiters, they do social engineer, but they do it for the good of humanity.
Yeah, whereas I think that he's a narcissist.
Do it for their own good.
I think that he's a narcissist. This guy.
He's something. He's something for sure.
It's I can't believe he said that, dude. If I would have played that earlier, I would have been going on him.
That was on his stream, yeah. Yeah, I sent that earlier. I was hoping you'd find it because, boy, now you know what it is that his Pecan's closer friends, and now hopefully everybody is going to see Martipol for what he really is. Okay, I hope everybody understands that this is the person that is asking you to support them.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve a penny. What he deserves, if anything, is...
We can't say what he deserves online.
No. Sympathy, right? In as much as he's pathetic.
It is pretty pathetic.
He needs to get up, pull up his pants, get out there. He brags about how he's a great technician, how he knows computers, and he does. He's quite accomplished. He could get out there and get a job. He chooses not to. And as you've seen, he chooses not to because he wants to spend his time on YouTube and Twitch and doing this. He can come on for a couple of hours a day, play games, which is what he does a lot. He plays games.
I just think he's boring. I just don't think, like, I have a friend named Chud Logic who streams for 8 hours a day, 7 days or 5 days a week. He treats it like a full-time job, and he makes a living off of that. And he's always doing, and he grinds hard. What is Martipol? Maybe streams every couple of days, and then it's like how long is he even stream for? Not very long, and then he's got
a couple of hours, few hours maybe.
Yeah, like if you were that hard on for money, you would work way harder than you do. I'll tell you that much. And you wouldn't run the first second somebody shows up in your chat trolling. Oh, we got trolls. I got to end stream. Like, you're punishing the only people who give a shit about you by running the minute somebody, like, you're punishing the most supportive people. Like, I'm about to bring her on here because I'm running out of time, but I told Soul that I wanted to give her some opportunity to talk about it. But like, you're punishing the people who support you because of the people who don't support you. I've had Soul on a voice chat when I had a bunch of random trolls like show up into my chat, and I was like, I didn't end stream. I just said, Soul, hop off, because like I'm not going to expose you to the trolls. But I didn't end stream. As fast as they came, they left, and then we continued to stream because I feel like the audience deserves that time. You know, it's like I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's like he's a weak man. He's a weak man. You're a weak man. And after what I heard you say about Pecan, regardless of what you thought he was doing to you, that's fucked up, dude. That was fucked up. All right, so I want to bring in Soul real quick.
Yep.
Soul, if you want to unmute, you should be able to unmute now.
Yep, I'm here.
What's up? So Soul was a part of Modern Pulse community for a while, and she's my moderator, my top moderator, probably my I guess admin, brand ambassador of my Discord. She always sticks her neck out to get in trouble with the community when I'm too busy to not. So I appreciate her for that. And it's not an easy job. She does take a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, she does a great job, and she's got the best interest of everybody at the end of the day. So you were part of Paul's community. You want to share a little bit about what you wanted to come on and say? Specifically about the doxing, too. I want you to mention the doxing shit, too. I know you know too, Limey, but I wanted to give her an opportunity to share some info.
I appreciate that. As far as like with Ray goes, I started last May, and he was good. I didn't see much. It took a couple weeks, and all of a sudden I started to see him kind of the behavior slipped. And then around 4th of July, he, got drunk, disappeared for almost a week. Then he came back around 4th of July. And the thing about Ray that needs to be said is that he gives information about himself online all the time. Lots of people know this. And I was able, because he had said which hotel he was at, and on a stream, like there's a Microsoft, Defender, or I don't know if it's Defender or what it is. There's a pop-up and there's a city and state. And I asked one of his mods, who's not in our community, and no hate towards them. I asked, hey, I'm concerned about this because I've been stalked and harassed, and I know what it feels like to have people find my information, and I was concerned.
Oh, by the way, congratulations, hey. Fun Guy just reminded me that you scam baited for the first time on his channel.
Yeah, I did, and I love him for that because I showed it to my mama. I know we get a little, the language and stuff, but my mama really appreciated that because, she's been scammed recently, or they tried to scam her recently, and I definitely appreciate that. I've been in training this week, but I would love to be able to do more. I definitely support Fun Guy and his community because they're wonderful people.
Yeah, for sure.
So
we love you guys here, by the way. I was trying to cut him a little slack while I worked on this other project, but he kind of forced my hand when he started hurling threats at me. Don't poke the bull, Paul. No. Soul, you know what we deal with on a regular basis on this channel, right?
I do.
He does not know what he's like. He's my first go out. I went toe to toe with Savannah, who's been on YouTube for a decade, had almost 100,000 subscribers, and not to toot my own horn, but I think I whooped her ass, right? Because Brogy was vindicated at the end of the day, and that was my first time going out. Now I'm not saying I'm like some like tough guy or anything, but I'm just saying I dealt with much more formidable foes than you, Mr. Paul.
Yeah, Ray's small potatoes. But I'm going to be very clear about the things that I've seen Ray do because he's accusing people of doxing, and I'll get into the mod in just a minute. So just humor me for a minute. So, I'm a medical coder. I pay attention to details, but I'm also not going to dox somebody because I am being stalked and harassed. Ray knew of this. I have, screenshots of my DMs with him where I told him a certain member of his community was doing it to me. And fair enough. He said he doesn't get in between member stuff, but I have that. So he's well aware of what I've been through. So to make a very long story short, for 4th of July or before that, there's a screen that popped up, like I said, the city and state. And then he said a hotel, and he always said he was in a secret location. And I was like, okay, well, please prove me wrong. And so I went and I just, the hotels, I clicked on one, and, he was showing outside fireworks, specific building.
Would you say it was giving fireworks, Saul?
Oh, it was 4th of July, so he was showing fireworks with his phone outside of the hotel.
I know. You missed the joke.
Yeah. Oh, giving fireworks. Yes.
Is it giving fireworks or was it not giving fireworks?
It was giving fireworks. Okay. It was, because I was like, oh shit. So, I saw this building, and I don't, again, I know what it's like. I don't share people's information. I was able to use Google Street View and find it. And I let one of his moderators know, and they thought that I was going to use it for ill purposes. We cleared that up, to be very fair. I mean, it wasn't a pleasant experience, but that was that. I didn't feel comfortable on July 16th. It was a Tuesday morning when he called Comcast. This man literally gave his first and last name, the last 4 of his social, the area code, I believe the full prefix of his number, but again, I know I don't write this shit down. I don't care. But I just remember that. So it may not have been the full before he muted. He also gave out the 4 digits of, I think, a street address, but he cut it off at the street. And I just shook my head like, how can you sit there and yell and scream at people for being, for having people be doxing you and stuff like that, when it's really like you're over here losing your mind. Sorry, I'm getting Discord stuff, so I apologize. Okay, I'm shutting that off.
Stop being so popular. You're on air.
I know. I need people to respect my DMs, please. There's something in chat that just kind of happened before this. I need that person to be respectful.
You know what? It's not giving Soul. It's not giving live stream.
It's not. This is more important. This is what. Yeah.
Limey was giving live stream.
He was.
You're not giving live stream. I need you to give live stream. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. So on this poor video, this lady, he finally was like, "Oh, I'm live streaming you to my audience," and she cut it off. She's like, "I'm sorry, sir. You can't do that. You can't live stream us." It was taken down. It took a few days, but I was just horrified because, to be fair, they are scam baiters and, organized criminals, want you guys or whatever I've been told. And I mean, that's legit. So why are you giving out all this information? And then I've already said this before, but I watched as he pulled Beethoven down a hallway by his tail. Beethoven was screaming, and I'm just in shock. It's like, at that point, I didn't know where he was. I don't actually have his full address because it's not important to me to know where he lives. I don't feel like it's something I'm going to report. And the reason why is because I've been through my own shit with police, and I just don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
No one is around here. No one needs to be guilt tripping or forcing people or I would have reported that. Okay, I get that. That's you. That's not me. You're not in my shoes. You don't know what I've been through. And I'm not like that. I hope that this reaches Ray and he understands. Stop hurting Beethoven. I get it.
He said in his email, he was shocked that people accused him of that.
Don't be shocked, Ray, because we watched it. I saw it with my own eyes. Okay, I get that the video is probably gone. That's fine. If I was him, I would have deleted it too. But I'm not him, and I love cats, and it was horrible. And then he turned around, the lady tried to explain to him how when you pull a cat's tail, it hurts them. And he called her a PUSSY and told her, don't watch his streams. And y'all know, if you've watched him, he says that to people. He can't handle trolls. He, shuts down anybody who tries to say anything. It's why I didn't say anything at that point in time, because honestly, I needed a community. With what I was going through, I was hella depressed. Just like, I left his community to come here, and EG, you've done a wonderful job. And on that note, I'm going to transition to, really, Ray, you're going to sit here and drag us into it? His mods? You're going to try to sit there and say EG blackmails us? No. There's nothing that EG has or nothing that I have that either of us want. I donate to EG just like I donate to other people because first of all, I want the scam baiting community to do well. You guys do a hell of a good job. You do a hell of a service to people. And EG, you gave me a safe space. I mean, I don't even understand what Ray's trying to do over here. I mean, what the fuck, bro? Really? You're going to sit there and call EG a creep? You're going to insult him because of his views? I mean,
who does that remind us of? Who does that remind us of? Orange hoodie guy.
Oh, Collins. Oh my God.
That was his that was his favorite thing to bring up. Your views. If you got to go after my views, you're already lost, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, EG's not a creep, Ray. He doesn't go on X and go after women and talk about them. I mean, Ray, you can game well. Okay?
Not women. I don't do it to women, but I do it to some people.
No. But I'm talking about, okay, so like when Ray does gaming, for example, he's good. It's fun to watch. But then he started making like these kind of derogatory comments to women. And sometimes you're like, okay, maybe he's just joking. And then when you realize it's real, you begin to get uncomfortable. And it's almost like a weird form of harassment where you're trying to be supportive of him because you want to believe that he's good, or you're kind of in like disbelief. And that's why I'm going to say this right now. Anybody who has left his community is not going to be harassed by anybody in our community. I don't care.
At least
if they were a mod. No, I'm not tolerating it. If I see it, I'm telling you, EG, we're dealing with it. We're not doing that. We're going to be warm and welcome and supporting. And Ray, even if you decide to come forward like Pierogi did, and I don't want to drag Pierogi into this necessarily on my behalf, but if you come forward and you say, you know what, I have a problem and I want to get help.
Well, he didn't come forward. He handled it privately with his family, but that's really the only people who.
Well, I meant Pierogi. Yeah, well, yeah. I know, but we can see, unfortunately, it's been made public, and people have still been after him, hounding him, Pierogi, and man, stop that shit. But again, I don't want to speak on his behalf because that's not, I'm trying to be respectful to the people who handled that for him.
He a grown ass man.
Right, he is. And, with Ray, it's like he really needs to own up to the fact, look in the mirror, turn it back on yourself and go, I am an alcoholic. I am hurting people. Don't be scared, because guess what? Right now it's a scary time where you have all these people and you're in deep denial. You're digging the hole deeper. Pile of shit's getting bigger. Turn it around. We are a very understanding and forgiving community, but by God, don't be taking advantage of us. Don't sit there and come after us and drag us like, we're just being mean to you or making shit up. I'm not making up what I saw about Beethoven. It took me a long time to come out and talk about this. I had just lost my cat due to kidney, disease, and having her dead body in my arms, her limp head, I couldn't do it anymore. And then, Pecan came on and I was just like, I got to say something. Sometimes we hit a point because I have PTSD, for example. I don't need to be stalked or harassed. I don't need anybody to be nasty to me. And, Ray would snap at me at times, like if I was trying to help him with games and stuff. And so it's like, sometimes you feel muted or you feel silenced or you're going through life and it's like, you just don't feel like you have a voice. And EG, you were the first person who gave my voice a sound. We were talking about Mr. Beast. I brought up Pierogi in my situation. And ever since I have found a home here, sure, with any family, you have your ups and your downs, through times and stuff. But I'll be honest with you, this is the kindest community you could belong to. I mean, Fungi, I'm in his as well. His is very kind.
Don't get it twisted, though. We do make fun of people. I don't want anybody to get that. I don't want anybody to ever be like, look at them saying how nice they are, and then it's me being like, look at this fucking idiot.
Well, okay, but
we criticize you, I like to think, though, if we criticize you, you deserve it, and that's the rule of thumb for us.
That's based, and that's the thing. Like, I don't care what Ray says. I mean, I know that your mods have not done anything to him. And I don't know who he's talking about, because I'm the only one of your mods who, his mods were aware of. Like, well, I know that one of his mods is over there. Okay, that's great. Yes, I am. But why am I here? Have y'all ever stopped to think about that? Ray, have you? Because I don't want to talk to his mods. I don't want to talk to his supporters like this. I have no ill will. There's a lot of really kind and nice people in there, and it breaks my heart that they get drugged or, that they're going through this and they don't know. I mean, he needs to be transparent, but he doesn't want to because this is humiliating.
You're here because I'm a creep, Soul. That's it.
Yeah, I know, and you blackmail me apparently.
I just be creeping and blackmailing. It's giving creepy blackmail. It really is. It's giving,
it is. And you know what? I don't want you to do it anymore because I need to spend my money on. I have this Peep plushie that's 3 feet tall, and I'm going to buy it.
Then what am I going to do with all these feet pics, Soul? I've already given I've already given half of them to Fun Guy.
Well, Fun Guy, you know what? He said he had pictures, and I told him that I told you not to give him the ones of me in the bathroom. All right.
No, these are the ones where you're on the toilet.
Yeah, on the toilet. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, come on, Ray, get real. So, you know what I mean? Like, you look stupid to people who know the truth. And I've said it before, I'm saying it again. The truth is the truth, no matter what you believe. I know the truth. I'm not going to call them out, but the other mods of EG know the truth. EG, you know the truth because we know the truth. There's none of that shit. And as far as like the other crap about you being doxxed, I mean, I know that it sucks if people, you know, ring your doorbell and stuff. I have had that. But you on stream mocking people and stuff, if that really happened, I mean, what are you doing giggling and laughing? I think you're just making people even angrier because you now know, you've admitted it, that you are aware that people are upset with the way you're treating Beethoven. And yet, are you mocking them? Are you trying to like just laugh it off or something? Why not address it like a real man like EG did? EG, you started this stream and you were very, very transparent. And people in the chat were like, oh my gosh, it happens. But you know what? You get respect when you come forward and you say, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to tell you the truth.
I just don't want anybody to have anything that they could pull out later, you know? I mean, that, and I honestly don't feel like I have anything to hide, so... I do that. I live that way because it just makes me sleep better. It's a completely selfish reason I do that. It's not because I'm some super honorable guy. I just sleep better at night knowing I don't have any like shit in my closet that can come out, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, that's how I view this. I'm here because I needed a safe community and I got it through you and I really cared. I you know, when I was able to finally get a job and I was able to give back, I did. And I have supported the hell out of you because I believe in you and I want to see you go far. And I know this is just, you know, Ray is small fucking potatoes compared to what we're going to face in the future. But, you know, Ray, don't make fun of somebody who might be smaller than you because EG has a lot more love. Look at his chat. Look at how many people are legitimately here and back him. And I understand, like, a lot of people are here because of what happened with Pecan and they appreciate, you know, you, EG, for speaking on his behalf. I know I sat there when I saw, you know, what he was saying to you because, you know, as your admin, sometimes you will share things with me. And I'm just disclosing that because that's why I went out there and talked about Pecan's conditions because I knew that Ray was whining about his and it just pissed me off. I mean, I'm a medical coder, Ray. Show me your progress notes. I'll be fair. If you have serious conditions, I'll be fair. I know you won't. But the offer stands, just like with EG. Come on and talk to him.
Yeah, if I was,
we know you won't.
If I was in his position, I would, I'd want to be on the stream right now, advocating for myself. I would not hesitate. I'd be like, let me. You saw what I did to K-Hawk. I was like, let me get in this stream now. Like, don't, you know, there's misinformation being. By the way, I just want to make it very clear that I would never typically share messages like that, but I felt it was important since there was threats being made towards me before any lies about. I mean, he's basically lying to me in my own like email. You know, I just I'm not gonna sit there and allow that to somehow fester into something. I've seen what it does to creators who I care dearly about, and I would never want. But then you know, I'm just making it clear in case anybody who may see that and be like, oh well, EG shares private. I would never do that to anybody else. He threatened me. He that's basically what it came down to. Is that he basically kind of forced me no other choice. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm insulted. I mean, don't drag mods in it. I mean, I'm going to assume it's me. I don't know what else it could be. I mean, none of the other mods give two shits.
They love fucking with my mods.
Yeah, Raj and I have been put through so much shit. And I even thought about that too. I think I saw Raj mention it. I mean, it could be the person that's been after me. I mean, Ray, Joey. I mean, I've told you the other name. I'm not going to mention it here because, I'm not going to give that person's voice a sound. But it's like, what I've been through, what Raj has been through, there's real stalking and harassment. Okay. And you want to cry about being doxxed. I mean, if someone did get upset about your cat, I mean, did they show up at your house? Like, let's keep it real here. I mean, I'm not condoning it. But there's a difference between having people like threaten you and seriously try to do you harm with your information and people who are concerned. Again, those people have been addressed. They've been talked to. But as far as, it goes with, where we're coming from, I don't give two shits about you.
And by the way, the people that we talked to immediately were like, yeah, we get it. Yep. They weren't like, wow, no, they were totally just like, yeah, we get it. We're just upset. And I get that, but just gotta make sure we keep our cool heads in the moments. Cause it's just overall, it's not a good look for all of us. It's something that we tend to fight in this channel. We don't want to be participating in it. And I think that, their heart was in the right place. They wanted to make sure that cat was safe. And I get that, animals are defenseless creatures. And, but without we think if something like that happens, it has to be like without a shadow of a doubt. And I know that Soul, says she's seen it, but I think that Pecan said he had that video and, unfortunately, he's no longer with us for us to get that. So,
yeah, I know. I told people about the video, and unfortunately, I wasn't asked before it. That I guess the call was made, and it's kind of like you should have waited until we had that, because at this point, Ray's just mocking everybody. He thinks it's a big joke. He thinks he can get away with it, and that's why we're doing this, because this isn't funny. And it's not cool to come on and threaten a creator. I don't care how many viewers they have.
You're talking to a woman who's named herself after her cats. Do not fuck with your cat in front of her.
Do not.
This is next level shit, man. You picked the wrong one.
I'm pissed. But see, I'm pissed, but it's like I will run my mouth, in comments. I'll run my mouth in chat. I'm not going to ever contact you, Ray. I mean, if you don't know this, I guess we're still friends on Discord. Have I ever contacted you? I mean, I haven't blocked you.
Bye, Gypsy.
Maybe at this point, I'll disappear. Maybe I'm hidden from his channel. I don't go in your channel. I don't troll you.
He blocked me. He blocked me when we were still being nice to each other. So
yeah,
that should show you everything you need to know about the fucking guy.
Well, and I mean, it's like I know that his mods, they're trying to do a good job, because I was hoodwinked too. Like I've talked about last year, how I was warned against Pecan, and I was warned against him 2 months ago or something. And thank God I was able to actually talk to the man. I could see his videos. I was like, this guy's based. I mean, yeah, he's a little rawr. I'm supposed to say I'm scared of him. He's very scary, but in reality, he's a very kind person. And what he was doing for me in that small amount of time that I knew him was being a shield against all the shit that's come at me. And, that's why he was so important. It was such a big impact. And I did what little I could to carry the torch. My mouth is just my mouth, but hey, I saw what I saw. It is just me, my words, but I saw what I saw. And Ray knows, again, the truth is the truth, no matter what anyone believes. The truth is, he pulled Beethoven down the hallway by his tail. I know it's just, and I heard at this point, that is the truth. So,
yeah, unfortunately, until you have that, all we have is your word.
Right.
You know how we don't act on that here. But I mean, it doesn't mean we don't believe you. It just means it.
No, I'm not. I don't care if y'all believe me. I don't care if y'all believe me. If Ray hears this, he knows the truth.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't see why you would make this up. I'm just saying, like, for us to act on it, like, or do anything.
We shouldn't have.
Yeah.
No lately should ever dox anybody. No lately should ever do something like that. I don't care how.
And just to be clear, nobody truly doxed anybody in the sense of someone posting your address. It was just something that was getting close to something that was becoming uncomfortable. And we addressed it. And so I just wanted to make sure that's clear. I don't want anybody to feel like they're being thrown under a bus or anything like that. Like, I want you to understand.
No, I mean, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. And I mean, and the people, honestly, they're good people. So as far as, they're concerned, I get it. And I understand they're trying to do a human rights thing, and a lot of people are pissed off. But see, in the comments when people say, has anybody done anything for the cat? Or when they, in our chat, when they're like, well, I would have done this or that. Well, I mean, that's great that you can do whatever you want to do. But as far as we're concerned, you have to understand, and I've told people this, I told it in DMs, I've said it before. My job is to protect EG as his admin. You cannot talk to me about certain things. You cannot send me certain things. I do not want to know. If it's there, I can't act on it. You gotta delete it, man. Don't send me shit, please. I don't want to be involved in that as his admin. My job is to protect EG and his channel. Please respect that. Just going forward, for all the people in the world who will watch you, this is gonna get 1 million views one day. For all you million views.
I don't know if Modern Paul is gonna bring in 1 million views, but if he was, he probably wouldn't be in this position in the first place. But
we are. Fuck him.
Yeah, I get it.
No, but seriously, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. Again, I just want to say this. And
yes, you can talk, girl. We know.
I know. Okay, let me say this.
Yeah, give us your final thoughts.
Final thoughts. All right. Final thoughts. Thank you, Limey, for being so kind. And Pecan had to do it too.
Hang on, one sec. Hold up.
Michelle Kristen, aka owner of Minitart, super chatted $4.99. Great job with continuing the truth.
Thank you, Michelle Kristen, aka owner of Mintart or Minitart. Thank you so much. Appreciate the super chat.
Woo! Hope that wasn't too loud.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. You see that? Donations can come in when you don't even ask for them. And that's how I prefer it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I know.
I didn't have to start a GoFundMe or anything.
You didn't have to start a GoFundMe. I was about to say, yeah.
All right. Well, let me just say this, and I'll let you gents get back to it. Yeah. I mean, Ray, honestly. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lemmy.
No. Continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me just butt out of this real quick. But like, Ray, my final thoughts are this: if you could honestly take away anything from this, it is turn the mirror back on yourself. You have an alcoholic problem. You are an alcoholic and you are suffering. All right. Go get help. It doesn't get better until you get help. Once you do, then you can start to mend and make your life better, because the track that you're on right now, it's a very slippery slope and you're cutting your life short. All that alcohol, the extra weight, all that nicotine gum, whatever. Enough. Just go get help. Because this is the community screaming at you that there is a huge problem. And if you keep trying to bury it, it's only going to get worse. Also, stop doxing yourself. Stop putting your information out on the internet. I tried to protect you by saying something last year. I got, accused of trying to look you up. I just have to say that was horrible. I'm just trying to protect people because I know what it feels like. That said, that's enough. I'm going to hand it back to you, EG.
Thank you so much, Saul. Appreciate you. Yeah. As always, you need your own YouTube channel so you could just rant unadulterated.
I know. I go. I go when I need to go. But thank you for humoring me and letting me vent. So, all right. I'll take care. Have a good night, guys.
Yep. Thank you, Saul.
EG.
Yes, sir.
There's some things I wanted to say here. That after going back to the GoFundMes, after the $16,000 one, now the reasoning for the $16,000 one, if I'm right, I have to pull it up, but if I remember right, it was because he had medical bills, he had ambulance rides, and he had 3 sessions that he had needed to go by ambulance to the hospital to get procedures, to get help, because he had something stuck in his throat.
It wasn't like food or something?
Yeah, food, right? But I want to bring this to the attention of the community, and you don't really have to be a doctor to understand this. Initially, when he came out with this whole GoFundMe thing, he stated that if he did not get the operation on his ulcers in his throat, that within 6 months, he would not be able to talk and he would not be able to swallow. Well, here's the thing. When you talk, you do so using your trachea, which is taking air from your lungs and bringing it up through and out of your mouth, right?
Yeah.
That's where you breathe. It's through your trachea. You got 2 tubes.
Yeah,
one
your esophagus is the food one,
for
right?
lungs. Yeah. And then he's talking about the food tube, which is the esophagus.
Yep.
And he really doesn't even talk about esophagus. He doesn't even use, you'd think for somebody going through all these medical problems, though, he would use more scientific and more medical terms than just, oh, my throat, right? So here we are. We understand that he has a problem with his esophagus. He's got these ulcers in his esophagus. He has what do you call it? Acid reflux. He has all these problems related to his stomach, related to his esophagus and all. Okay, now, the $16,000, right, was to cover the cost because he had food stuck in his throat. Now, that is due to this dysphagia that he says he has. That's a narrowing and a dysfunctionality within the esophagus, not the trachea, which is what's used for breathing. So if he's swallowing his food, and I hope he's taking it easy because he knows he has dysphagia, if he's swallowing his food, it's supposed to go down into his stomach through his esophagus.
Yeah.
Now, if you get a bit of food stuck in your throat, what's the first thing you do? You go get a glass of water and you try to wash it down because it's stuck in your esophagus, maybe. I've never really had it too much. Okay, but supposing you couldn't get
look at that. Someone's
that
guilty
to
of
move.
being total
Oh, one
badass.
sec. One
Chick
sec,
does
Limey.
approves this message.
Yep.
Michelle Kristen, aka owner of Minitart, super chatted $4.99. I have a condition that gets food stuck. It's not an emergency. I drove myself to the ER last time. You still can breathe, just can't swallow.
Right.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for the $4.99, and thank you for your sharing your experience with that and getting yourself to the.
She's right on the money. She's nailed it. And this is what I was saying. He said he needed ambulance rides because he had food stuck in his throat. Okay, you know what you do? You get in your car and you drive yourself to the doctor, the urgent care, or the emergency room, and you say, hey, look, I got food stuck in here. I'd like to get it moved, get it extracted, or whatever you want done with it. That's
And
what
can
you
you
do.
do something with my? Can you do something with this neck thing too that I got going on? Here?
Yeah. Maybe what they did is they squeezed a little hard when they were trying to pull up this food in his throat. I don't know.
Maybe the
that's
food's
what
like, I
brings-
need to get the hell out of here. It's
He
trying to-
states that that's a rash.
That's
That's what he was saying, that
that's
it's a rash.
It's a
But
serious rash.
it's serious rash, and it's amazing how the colors look very bruise-like. But anyway, I mean, it could be. You can, I think, get bruising from medications. It could be. But here's the thing: what you wouldn't have a problem with is you wouldn't have a problem with breathing if you got something stuck in your food pipe, your esophagus. What you do is you simply try to wash it down, or you go to the urgent care and you get them to take care of it. Now, what's amazing really is the fact that he went 4 years from when he first went in and had this what do you call it? What they call it when they expanded his dilation.
Dilation,
right?
yeah.
He went in. He had this dilation 4 years prior to all of this stuff happening, right? And he's not had any problem. He's been eating all the food He's eating burgers. He's going to McDonald's. I've got pictures of all of the different food that he's been showing online. Lots of great food. I mean, I don't eat like he does. He eats like a king. But anyway, all of this food, tacos with onions and tomatoes. And if you got acid reflux, you don't eat onions and tomatoes. But anyway, he's eating all this stuff, right? So if he needed an ambulance, you would assume that he would be choking. In other words, he wouldn't be able to breathe. Well, if you can't breathe, it's very difficult to call 911 and have an ambulance come, right?
Yeah.
It's a little difficult if you breathe. If you can breathe and you just got it stuck in your esophagus, you get in your car and you drive. And here's the thing, if you don't have any money and you know an ambulance is going to cost you thousands of dollars, why would you call an ambulance? Just jump in the car and go to the doctor, go see somebody.
Unless you're like deeply in like this victim mentality where,
well, yeah.
So then you could sell
them. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to get there. They're going to get there and say, what seems to be the problem? And he's going to say, well, I was eating and I got this thing stuck in my throat. And they're going to go, well, you're breathing, you're saying, just drive. So that was what I wanted to point out, is the fact that all of this started happening, right? Remember, he went 4 years with no issues. He then says that within 6 months, he won't be able to talk. He won't be able to swallow. And yet he continues to yell and scream at the scammers. Even a scammer the other day, I got a copy of that, is here. The scammer turned and said, why are you yelling at me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, for a guy that's on the verge of not being able to talk, that's pretty impressive. And as far as swallowing goes, okay, he says it's so painful to swallow, yet he chews gum.
Yeah, that builds up saliva.
Exactly. He is constantly swallowing throughout his stream. He intentionally chews gum, builds saliva, and he has to swallow. Now, if it
to
was
be fair,
as
it could have
painful
been striped gum, which loses its flavor after 5 seconds.
But he still chews it, which stimulates saliva.
I'm just playing around.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's so many things that he says that make absolutely no sense. Now, going back to what you were saying about him just pushing his viewers away and shoving them down when they turn around and say something, wouldn't you think that you asked him to come on your stream and face me and answer the question? Just answer the questions. I mean, I've got questions I want him to answer. I'd love the opportunity to talk to him and pose questions, because I got a ton of them. I'd like to get answers, and I'm sure the community would love to get them. But instead,
yeah, like where'd that 30,000 come from? Where'd that number come from?
Well, the 30,000. Look, the 30,000 was changed the same day. He may have turned around and meant to put 10, but like the 3 is like the only thing between the 3 and the 1 is a 2. So he may have accidentally done that. You know, he may have accidentally slipped with a finger and put, oh, did I put 3? You know. Yeah, I think that's probably a trick he learned from the scammers. You know how they add zeros and do different things. Yeah, so he may have got that from them. He just, yeah, exactly. So, what was that? I lost it. Damn it, that squirrel. Where was I?
You were saying the 3 and the 2 and
the 3 and the 2. Oh,
30,000.
Shoot, the 3,000, 2,000. Damn it, I just lost it. Quick, I'm getting.
It's all right. I'm like running. I'm gonna get in so much trouble with my fiance. But give me your final. Give me your final. Like your final conclusion.
I know what I was trying to say. I was trying to say that instead of simply banning and blocking the people that want to ask him questions on his stream, why doesn't he, on his own turf, okay, not in E.G. Lately's, not anywhere else, but on his own turf, open up, be transparent, and answer the questions that people have to ask? Why doesn't he do that? He has an opportunity.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because he doesn't want the last few people that are supporting him to know anything about this shit.
Right. I call them his disciples.
Yeah, he doesn't. He would rather just them not know it's happening at all.
And when he was streaming one day, he turned around and he told them, and I think I got this too. He turned around and he said, there's a lot of lies that are being told about me. If you hear anything, don't believe them. Come and talk to me.
So that I can feed you some more lies.
Ask me first. Yes, exactly. Now, here's the thing. Don't listen to them, right? Don't listen. Now, here's another thing a scammer does. I have called up victims. I tried to reach victims. I was on the phone with Fungi here a little while back. That we were listening to a poor victim getting railroaded. Okay. I called her up and she's like, no, I'm not being scammed. I made the mistake. I called them, right? And that's what the scammers do. The scammers tell them, don't listen to anybody else.
Yeah.
Only talk to me.
Don't call the bank. You don't need to call the bank. When you go get the gift card, don't talk to the managers. Don't talk to... Yeah, dude, you're so right. This is such a good point.
Yeah. So this is another thing. Not only all of these things that he has done during this period of time, okay, it's so reminiscent of what a romance scammer would do, or any scammer would do, and that is he's built up the trust of his community, and then he's trying to get money out of them in various amounts, increasing and increasing and increasing. And when he found he couldn't get the $16,000 and the well ran dry, he went ahead and he shut that down. And he's now come back after Pecan has passed.
Which I still can't believe he said that shit.
And he started again, but this time he knows he can't get that 16,000. And what happened? Do you see any mention at all about those medical bills for the ambulance, for the hospital, for any of that? Do you see any of that in his latest GoFundMe? No, it's not there. No.
How crazy
and
is
he asking
like, this
for,
this is one of those... Go ahead, you can finish.
No, I'm just saying he's not asking for 16,000. He came in low again. He came in with 1,000 and he's saying, hey, look, I lost some money. I lost a bit of money because I was away for 3 weeks. I lost that money, right? And he wants to gain that little bit back. But then what he's done now is he's created a whole new, and he keeps creating new videos. Some of them are, I mean, the newest videos, since he lost his, what do you call it, his editor who left him, since he lost them, his videos have been so cheesy and horrible. But he's now come up with a second running concurrently with the first GoFundMe requesting $2,000. So
wow, and he has a nerve to say that I'm not a creator. He doesn't even edit his own videos.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
I do. Aside from these streams, Rajira does most of these streams, but I like everything you see on this channel in the videos. I do all of that. So he doesn't. So I find it
well,
crazy.
My hats off to you. And Fungi does the same thing.
It takes Fungi knows then, dude. It takes, especially if you want it to look nice, it takes fucking forever. But I was saying before, it's hard to not like, you know, see the universe being intentional here with Pecan coming on here just before tragically passing away. Almost like the universe is trying to be like, no, you need to go fucking watch this guy. Like, and then PK got his message out just in time for.
No, thank heavens.
Yeah,
thank
I
heavens.
know that you and Fungi would have continued on, but I'm just happy that I'm able to help give a platform to you guys to make sure this guy, like, you know, is being held accountable.
I know Pecan's looking down right now, and he thanks you for your support in giving us a platform. And one thing I would like to say to the scam baiting community, to the leaders, I call them the leaders, they're the scam baiters. I want to ask that whatever differences they may be between any of the scam baiters, whether you don't particularly care for one or the other or whatever, we need a coming together and standing together as one and saying enough is enough. Don't be afraid that you're going to maybe lose a couple of viewers because you're afraid that somebody may take offense by you standing up and speaking out. I put this out to the community, to the scam baiters and the community as a whole. Don't be afraid to speak up when you see something going, when something is wrong. When other people are getting hurt, don't stand back and watch.
Yeah,
come
like
forward.
You could take a note from my community. That's pretty. We almost do that to a fault. Like we hold each other accountable almost too much.
Well, thank you for all you do. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is just like another day for us over here. So this is but I love. I've always had this kind of interesting. You know, relationship with the scam baiting community. That's where most of my chat came from. So I kind of like that I have a platform where people in the scam baiting community can come to talk about things that necessarily most scam baiters probably wouldn't do on their stream because they're usually scam baiting. So I think that works out nicely, you know?
Yep.
Well, do you have anything else you want to add, Mr. Limey?
No, I just thank you. I thank the community, Fungi, and Pecan.
And Pecan, hell yeah! I'm sure if Pecan was watching from up above, though, he's probably like, "Can you guys say fuck a little more than you guys have been?"
I love the man. He was a great man. He was rough, tough, rugged on the outside. He spoke his mind. He stood up for the little guy. He wouldn't back down, no matter what.
Yeah, he was unapologetic, and I like that about him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I still get a little.
Bro,
I had the honor of meeting him. And he in real life is everything that you saw online. It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter. It didn't matter who you were. If you were wronged, he would stand up for you. And I believe you're the same way. You're here. You're giving voice to those who are not heard. You're pointing out where people could do better. And I think you and Pecan were a match made in heaven on that day when he was able to use your platform, because I and all of his friends in the community just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak out.
Trust me when I say the pleasure's been all mine, dude. Honestly, like, yeah, I know how you feel, dude, because you guys have known him a lot longer than I have, and I got choked up, and I had only known him for a couple weeks, but that's the kind of impression the dude left on me, you know? And that's not easy to do, especially since I've lost so many people in my lifetime. To get me that choked up, like, just shows you how what type of man he was, you know? And to hear Ray like say that shit about him, that really just pissed me off, man. Like, that lost all goodwill towards you, Ray, disappeared with that fucking comment, dude. I hope you understand that. And I almost canceled this stream because I felt bad. Now and then but I had no idea that video was out there, and you said some shit like that. You dumb motherfucker. Heartless. You heartless motherfucker too.
It was cold. It was so cold.
Yeah. Yeah, Davion, yeah. I know you know how it is, man. Well, thank you so much, Limey. I really appreciate you coming on. I saw Fungi say he wants to come on one day. Yeah, absolutely, Fungi. I'm sure this won't be the last time Paul fucks up. I'll have you come on for the next one. We'll just every time he messes up, we'll get a new guest to come on and talk about it.
Hey, one thing I want to say, EG, before I leave, and that is, Paul, if you think this is over, you're wrong, buddy, because we lost one hero, but we have a ton of them ready to step in where he left off.
Yeah, if anything, you're in much worse shape now. Yeah, you're in much worse shape now than you were before Pecan passed away.
He is going to wish the Pecan was here.
Yep.
He's going to wish he was here.
I mean, we all wish he was here, but he's going to wish he was here for a different reason.
No. He's going to wish. Yeah. We all wish he was here. Yeah. But, he's going to... Pecan was a gentleman compared to what is going to get unleashed if he does not start reconsidering his life and making changes to help himself. He needs, just like Luna was saying, he needs to go ahead and do better. Like you said, do better.
Yep.
Make the changes in his life, get the help he needs, and maybe, just maybe, in the future, he can recoup some of that old glory that he enjoyed in the past.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to work extremely hard for anybody to trust him anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Limey. I really appreciate you, brother.
Man. Take care.
Yep, take care. Anytime you need me, man, just reach out.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Yep. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Limey, everyone. My special guest of the night. Wow. Crazy streamer. You guys from Pecan's like group always bring just such interesting topics, and I know that it's like Modder Paul who on the face doesn't seem like very interesting aside from like the skin neck thing. But like you guys are always thanking me, but honestly, like I'm so grateful to you guys, really. And like I said, I find it so interesting that I met Pecan. I got a chance to meet Pecan, and he shared this story right before he passed away. And the fact that Paul thinks that his trolls are gonna go away now because Pecan is not here, you could not be more wrong. You got people like Fungi, you got people like Limey who are going to continue the battle. And while, I have some bigger fish to fry, like, I'm never going to not keep an eye on you, bro. So you better act right, because anytime these guys need me, I'm going to make myself available to them, because these are good dudes. And, at the end of the day, you're supposed to be helping people. Instead, you're You're just taking money from them. And you can try to spin it, say I'm lying however you want. I mean, I care about the truth. That is all I care about on this channel. Ask anybody. The only thing I care about is getting the right shit said and the right shit shown. And the shit that they show is undeniable, man. Undeniable. They could have, like, Limey could have not shown me anything else, but he showed me the one clip of you, like, kind of, like, being glad the Pecan's not around, and I would have just, that would have been enough for me to realize what kind of man you actually are. Well, anyway, guys, for everybody who was, everybody donated tonight, Super Chats, thank you so much. Memberships, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I will be back on Tuesday. I should have a huge video dropping this weekend. I hope so. I hope so. I still got a lot of work, but I think I got the original edit almost done, and then I got to write the music for it and then do that, and then and I got to create the thumbnail for it, and then we should be good. But there is a massive video coming, and I'm pretty excited about it. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. If you're in the Discord, obviously I'll let you guys know when that's going to be dropping. I'll probably do a premiere for it, do a couple hours, maybe do a live stream afterwards. But anyway, with that said, guys, I got to go because if I stay up any later, I'm going to hate myself in the morning because I got to get up early for work. Work, Ray. You hear that? I work. And plus the fiance is missing me. She's in that cold bed all by herself, so I got to go spend some time with her. Thank you guys all so much. All the new names. I hope you guys will come back. I know that a lot of you are invested in this particular topic, but we talk about a lot of interesting topics on this show. And I know we don't do the typical scam baiting that a lot of you guys might be used to, but that's a good thing. That means I don't actually compete with the guys that we're hanging out with tonight, which is a beautiful thing. So if you ever want to hear some interesting retrospects on culture or ongoings in the news, or if you're interested in any deep dive investigations, make sure you guys check out my other streaming channel where this stuff goes. That's called Later with Lately. Soul, if you could drop the link for Later with Lately in the chat, I appreciate it. That is my streaming channel. This is typically where I keep my investigations and edited videos. Later with Lately is usually where the edited streams go. So, again, I appreciate you all. And hopefully when Soul drops that link in the chat, you all will go over, if you haven't yet, and give a subscription to Later with Lately, because this is where this stuff matters, so, and all this stuff is important too. We don't want to see anybody we know how hard times are. We know how hard times are. Paul knows how hard times are. Why does he know how hard times are? Because, he's begging for money, and, but there's millions of jobs out there, bro, that you could go do. You could be a greeter at Walmart. That'll be enough for you to make your rent. I think Walmart pays like almost $16, $17 an hour. That's pretty good. It's not a bad gig. Thank you, Soul. Soul just dropped the link to the YouTube for my streaming channel. Please, if you guys haven't, go subscribe over there so that you guys can see anything that I left the last Pecan video up on my stream on this channel because after Pecan passed away, I didn't want to move that. But typically these streams get moved over to Later with Lately. So if you guys want to enjoy stuff similar to this type of content, that's the place to go do it. With that said, guys, nothing but love for you all. And thank you, Soul, for coming on. Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you, Carla. Thank you. This is what I do to myself every time I start naming people. And then I got to go through everybody. Mad Daddy Moonshine. What's up, dude? Fun Guy Media. I don't even know how to say your name, Mist, because you have a lot of interesting icons there. But so I'll just call you Mist. Thank you, Mist. Davian Phoenix, my cousin. Love you, brother. Mr. Hood, it was good to see you back in the chat tonight. Mr. T's Gold 2 Chains, Denise _ S13, Jammer, the Daniels Crew, Master Toothpick, Zero Infinity Live. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Valerie, Michelle Christine, aka owner of Mini Tart. Yes, I'll be back. Thank you, Michelle Christine, and thank you for the super chats tonight. I really appreciate that. Marie F. Good night, lovelies. Good night to you. Tiffany, welcome to the chat. I hope we'll see you again. The bluest of J's, one of my lovely moderators. Of course, Limey, ING. Making sure I'm trying not to say names again because I end up doing it again. Carla Stop, my lone Twitch warrior over there. Davian Phoenix, Kaylee Aesthetic, ING, Care Bear, Soul and Luna, obviously. Soul and Luna. I think I said Fungi Media, but I'm saying it again. Fungi Media. Because I'm so tired that I don't even remember who I said. All right. That's good. I think I went far enough up in the chat to say goodbye to everybody who's probably still here. Anyway, guys, much love to you guys. I will see you guys on the next episode on Tuesday night. Remember, Tuesday nights, Thursday nights are when I stream. So make sure you check in there. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.